A historic comeback in the NBA final last night. The Knicks were down 29 points. They were able to come back to win 107-106. They now lead the series 3-1 with a chance to put it away on Saturday with tip-off set for 8:30. The Stanley Cup final continues tonight. The series is tied up 2-2 between Vegas and Carolina. Puck drop set for 8 o'clock. You'll be able to catch all of the action right here on WGR with pregame starting at 7:30. Minicamp continues for the Bills. It's the final day around the NFL. Giants running back Cam Skattebo dealing with the ankle injury. He took 11-on-11 reps for the first time since his season-ending injury. NFL Network's Cameron Wolfe reports that Texans think David Montgomery is ready to be a potential three-down back if needed. The Jaguars head coach Liam Cohen said he's not sure when Travis Hunter will be a, quote, full go. And the Dolphins head coach Jeff Hafley said quarterback Malik Willis appeared more comfortable with the team's offense this week. Join us in the fight against cancer by riding with the WGR Ride for Roswell team on Saturday, June 27th. When you sign up, you'll get a rider gift from WGR and Tom's Pro Bike on Walden Avenue in Lancaster. Plus, at the event, stop by our table, scan the QR code for a chance to win a $1,000 gift card to Tom's Pro Bike. Visit WGR550.com for all of the details. That's your Paddock Chevrolet Sports Update. Paddock Chevrolet with you for the extra mile since 1935. I'm Joe Cali for Western New York's Voice of the Fan, WGR.
It's Jeremy White.
I think everybody.
New York sports giant, WGR.
Hey, everybody, happy Thursday. Jeremy and Joe on WGR. World Cup starts today.
Yes.
3
o'clock.
3 o'clock. Let me also do, this is my impression of everyone in America on the East Coast that is not all that invested in Spurs Knicks. Wonder what that game finished out at. What? That was 30,
kind of me.
It was a 30-point. It wasn't 10.
Yeah,
they're down 29 points.
29 points,
and they won 81-56. That's like a fake. That's a fake score.
I mean, the Spurs had 80 points in the first half, or they had 77. Something like they were close to.
Yeah,
it.
they hit 13 threes in the first half.
Yeah, and then they scored 30 points in the second half.
What
total?
What? I feel like we should go back and watch it because I don't believe it.
Yeah.
How did I'm watching Charles Barkley say it's the dumbest basketball team he's ever seen in his entire life. I think his phrase was, in the history of civilization. The dumbest basketball team ever, the Spurs. Just ripping threes when they didn't have to.
Yeah.
Anyway.
The end of the game sequence, you can't even, for the whole game, could you play their young card? Maybe. Like, they are young. They're younger than Michigan's starting lineup. Their, average age is 21. They're all kids. But who's the guy that made the mistake at the end? It was the veteran all-star that they brought in De'Aaron Fox, who for some reason went up for a layup up one with 10 seconds left to get blocked. That was when he says that, that's the dumbest team I've ever seen. I'm thinking of that play in that moment, and that wasn't one of the kids. That wasn't one of the rookies.
Yeah.
Which is where, I feel like a lot of teams could have a collapse like that in a regular season game, maybe in the playoffs too, and it's not necessarily, it doesn't have to be about age, but I just, how do you do it? Yeah, you shoot quick threes and you go up for a layup with 10 seconds left, but by that point, it's a basketball game. I can't believe they got back into it.
I can't believe they came back. I can't believe it. And then, taking the lead for the first time with 2 minutes left. Oh, man, I forgot. Sorry, they missed that shot. Here's a breakaway.
Well, it wasn't far. It wasn't long after the miss.
Right.
Yeah, he missed an open dunk layup. I don't even know what to call it.
Yeah. Man. Well, hey. All right. Sports.
It's an all-time sports comeback.
And it happens in the game that we all decided is the most important game in the series yesterday. I asked you guys which game in a 7-game series is the most important, and we all said Game 4. And we went through some reasoning on that. Anyway,
I mean, among comebacks, like especially ones that are in the championship, like there's not going to be many that you're going to get like a Patriots Falcons, reference when you go through that. And there might be others, but a 29-point comeback at home at the Garden, you're up 2-1 in the series. It's to go up 3-1. I mean,
yep.
This Fox play. What are you doing, dude?
Yeah. One other thing that happened in this game, if you watch the highlight, Mike Breen on the final call of OG Anunoby tipping in the ball that goes for basically the game-winning bucket.
Yeah.
I expected the crowd to be louder, and it reminded me of ESPN's hockey coverage. ESPN has a problem with crowds.
Their mics aren't up loud.
This highlight, it sounds like regular cheers on a Tuesday afternoon, a guy hitting a 3 in the third quarter.
Yeah.
And I know that it, of course, was not that. So ESPN is officially the problem with microphones and with hearing the audience. Fun things along the way. I have the entire celebrity list that is allowed at the game.
The list or the views of celebrities at the end of the game, like Jerry Seinfeld with his jaw to the floor,
Disbelief.
In disbelief.
Did we know
Larry David?
Taylor Swift is a big Knicks fan? Did we know that? She's going nuts.
I didn't know that. I mean, she was at the Cavs game against the Knicks, rooting for the Cavs, but that was because her fiance.
Was she rooting for the Cavs?
Well, maybe not, but she was there supporting her Cavaliers
boyfriend,
fiance. Travis Kelce.
Those pictures looked like she was like, "Oh, fine, I'll go to this game," but I'm not rooting for the Cavs that hard. I don't think I saw her rooting that hard in that game.
And she was wearing a shirt that said Stevie Nicks on it.
Yeah,
and Nicks was spelled, of course, Knicks.
Yeah.
And then her friends were wearing other shirts with it was Nickelback.
I think that
which started with a K.
I think that sets up that she is a Knicks fan that didn't want to, rock the boat too much in Cleveland, and here she got to let it out. Anyway, whatever.
Yeah.
803-0550. Hi, everybody. World Cup starts today, and Joe's rocking a Liverpool jersey in support of soccer.
Had a Alessandro Del Piero jersey somewhere at home that I just couldn't find because I don't know if I wear it. Italy's not at the World Cup anyway, so it's probably for the best.
I've got my Portugal jersey on. I've got my U.S. kit, my U.S. kit for tomorrow. I also have a Netherlands one that I bought for €10 in Europe during the 2010 World Cup.
I mean,
Wesley Sneijder Netherlands jersey kit, whatever.
Snyder.
That is like the quality of a piece of paper. I mean, this is a knockoff. Europe, Netherlands jersey that I bought on the streets.
I mean, really, I guess I'm supporting Colombia because Luis Diaz is the name on the back of the jersey. And he's in Colombia.
It is. It's whatever. It's the World Cup today. We're going to talk with Nick Mendola at 8:00 to start the tournament. You got 2 games today, and tomorrow we've got an Odyssey insider. Jamie Winston will join us at 9:30. Talk about the tournament as well with Team USA starting tomorrow night. So, there you go. That's us, 803-0550, and we're hanging out with you on a Thursday. It's supposed to be nice again. The corporate challenge is tonight at Delaware Park. A lot of people will be going down to that. If you play golf at Delaware or walk around Delaware, you see all the big tents that are up. And the corporate challenge, shutting down that area of the city, Delaware Avenue. That's a 4-mile run, I think. It's not a 3-miler. Usually, you get your standard 5K.
So it's more of like a 3/4 K?
It might even be an 8K. I think I should look it up. The reason I'm a little fuzzy on it is because
it's 6.4. It's like 2/3.
Okay, 6.4.
6.4 kilometers.
Okay, right.
Fine. So
Fine.
it's not a. Yeah, it wouldn't be 2/3. I don't know what I'm doing there. It's a 6. It's like a 6K.
Okay. I remember because the first time I ever ran it, having run 105Ks, my body felt like I thought this should be over by now. I was like, actually, no, it's a 6.4K.
You got a mile and a half to go.
well, a K and a half to go.
Okay, so, right. Sorry, yeah.
So that's tonight. 803-0550 and 1-888-550-2550. You've got your Liverpool jersey on. I've got my Portugal jersey on.
You're all in on Portugal.
Gotta be. Why not? My second team. U.S. number 1, I suppose, and Portugal number 2. I listened to a long podcast about the World Cup yesterday, and it was the Athletic FC podcast, international flavor and all about the tournament. And the question was asked, what has to happen for the U.S. to get World Cup fever? Which I feel like has happened before. The tournament was here in 94. That was a big one. And when Landon Donovan scores against Algeria, right? Like,
Yes,
that's
to survive the group stage.
Yeah, to get through. Like, it felt. I've been to a lot of watch parties watching USA Soccer, and it doesn't feel like the same right now. But whatever, maybe it will be tomorrow night. Anyway, the take from them was they just have to win their first game. Like, America loves a winner.
It's all they got to do.
America loves a winner. Win your first game, and start the parades. So,
but that is like being into it. Like a fever would be to me like if they make it to the semifinals where they are.
I mean, that'd be.
They
something.
Are they going to be the story in sports regardless of what they do? Maybe they will be, but. A fever like what Knicks fans are experiencing right now, like that on a national stage, that is going further than you ever have gone before. Which is what is that actually before the semis? Would that be like the quarterfinals?
Yeah,
winning a knockout round. How about beating a team that other people feel like is good at soccer?
Sure,
like casuals think is good at soccer.
The knockout round is a full. The knockout round's a full round longer this time. Instead of going from 16, it starts at 32.
Right, like beat the Netherlands. They played them in the last World Cup, beat Germany, beat Belgium. Like, win a game against a country like that to go far into the tournament as you ever have been, and I feel like the fever will be unstoppable. There will be interest. There will be people into it if they just win their first game. But I think there's another gear for them to go that they haven't tested the waters of yet. Where, like, Christian Pulisic is a national hero because of how far they've gone, assuming he would be a part of it.
It feels like that is, I mean, maybe I'm wrong, and we'll talk about this with Nick coming up at 8. It feels like that's impossible.
What?
I don't know.
To go far enough for that to be the case?
Yes, and for some reason I just kind of can't really picture the fever the same way. Maybe it's because it's every 4 years and I just forget. And the most recent time it felt like that might have been 8 years ago. Mm-hmm. Like the World Cup in Qatar was in December. So maybe because that was mixed in with NFL football, it got overshadowed and forgotten about.
Right, maybe.
And now we get into the summer. What's it going to compete against? Baseball, of course, and then like 3 games of playoff hockey and playoff basketball.
Yeah.
So that might be it. The last time they did this, it was in December, and it got kind of washed away. So we'll see.
But it's that it's in America. There's been a build-up. This was how many times has this team been called the Golden Generation? How many times has Pulisic been called the Wonder Boy? Like, it's far back to when he was like 16 years old, and it was, there's this kid on the way. He's going to be one of the best players in the world. He's American. We're going to do better than we ever have before. And like, okay, here it is. You've got your accomplished European manager at the top. Like, everything is lined up for you to do better than you ever have before. You don't have anything else that you would need. You've got that Golden Generation, the manager, you're at home. Like, this would be the time to do it, which I think also sets up for if they disappoint, then there will be people. Like, I might even be one. Like, okay, officially, I'm never believing that it's ever going to happen.
Yeah.
Like, what happening? Not with the World Cup, but make me think you could. How about that? The Sabres got to round 2, made me think they could win the Stanley Cup. They didn't win the Stanley Cup. Can the U.S. get there? Can they get to a place where I'm even pondering the concept that they could win it all?
Win now mode? You want them to shift to win now mode?
I want them to get to win now mode.
Make a couple trades.
Sure, right.
Yeah, acquire some strikers from Argentina.
Yeah. I don't even need them to do it. Get me to thinking about that. That is what I would love to see. Like, for me, that's a success for them.
Yeah.
That'd be a fever.
I just don't envision ever really getting there. To be
Thinking
totally,
that they could do
to
it.
be totally honest, I don't ever really envision getting to that.
What if they got to the semis? Still no?
It'd be great. It'd be great.
You probably would think no, because then they'd probably have to beat the 2 best teams in the world.
Right, back to back.
Like, because if they upset Belgium to make it to the semis, and okay, now your next 2 games are going to be Argentina and Spain.
All right, you got to beat France. Like, good luck.
Right.
So we'll see. But that doesn't mean it's not exciting.
No,
And
it's very exciting.
And I'm rooting for Portugal. They've never won it. In the chat, Flat points out that it's only 8 teams that have ever won the Cup. 8 teams.
Right. You can bet on will a team win for the first time.
And I bet it's a long shot.
It's like plus 400.
Yeah. I mean,
because really it's
Portugal, the Netherlands, Belgium. Are those your best chances?
And Norway.
Norway. All right. Right, like
before you start getting like Japan, and then the U.S. is right there. So yeah, you don't really have. I mean, you have a lot of teams, but you don't have many that could seriously win.
3:00 today, the first game, Mexico and South Africa, and then the second game is South Korea and Czechia, which is a little bit more of an even matchup. Mexico's a big favorite in the first game, and South Korea and Czechia in the second game.
That game is at 10 o'clock at night, though. South Korea and Czechia.
Okay.
You have midnight starts in this tournament.
Yeah.
I don't know. The first of those is on Sunday, I think.
Sunday at midnight. Who's not in?
Although Sunday at midnight means really Saturday night going into Sunday morning, I think. Right?
I'll take your word for it.
It says Sunday 12 a.m. That means that Saturday night. That's a Saturday night game.
Yes.
How many people are going to mess that up?
I don't know.
A lot.
It's not
people.
often. It's not often we get the old start time. That's the 12:00.
No, unless it's Hawaii playing college football,
Yeah, right.
and they might even be beyond 12 o'clock. That'd be it.
803-0550, our phone number. One thing we're featuring on the show today, we're going to have a parade of nations.
Yes.
I have created and put together a list of all of the teams in the World Cup, their names, and fun facts about all of them.
Love it.
So
48 fun facts.
Yes,
Or
I don't
close to it.
I don't know that we'll get to fun facts on every team. Like if you asked me for one, like what's the fun fact about Curacao? I could probably give it to you.
I could fill those in.
But some of those are better than others, and I cannot wait to get to the one about Algeria and a game that they played in the
Really?
Yes, that's right. The 1982 World Cup, the group stage. It was called the Disgrace of Gijon or something. I got to look up the pronunciation.
Wow, it's got a nickname.
Yeah, it was a disgrace. 1982 World Cup disgrace. I learned about that today. So, Parade of Nations. We'll do that a couple times throughout the show. We'll get you some, Bills and Sabres news as well. Of course, the Bills at minicamp. The Sabres, we're arguing about Alex Tuck all the time online. A lot of arguments online about Alex Tuck. There's the latest rumor on Devin Levi is that plenty of teams are calling on Devin Levi. Matt Larkin of dailyfaceoff.com had that. I think I saw the latest from Pierre LeBrun included Brady Tkachuk as a potential trade guy.
So the reason I thought of him yesterday, I didn't even see that. Friedman said 3 days ago, that Dylan Larkin would not be the only trade request of the summer. And in the same minute, he was talking all about like the Team USA group chat.
Werenski is on that list.
Okay, Werenski. Because when I heard him talking about the group chat and someone else is going to demand a trade this summer, I immediately thought of Brady Tkachuk.
Brady Tkachuk and Zach Werenski.
And Werenski, okay.
And neither of them has done that yet.
Right.
But they've both been mentioned as candidates, and we just have to hope that Tage is really tight with somebody.
I know.
If Tage is tight with
anybody,
Brady Tkachuk, I'm not sure, because Brady Tkachuk, your Alex Tuck replacement, I don't know, is that a good fit idea?
Yeah.
Maybe, maybe not. But on Brady Tkachuk, he's very tight with Josh Norris. Very tight with Josh Norris.
That's true.
So start that speculation if you want.
You know who else he's really tight with, though, is Matthew Tkachuk.
I would think so.
I think he's pretty tight with him. So that would help in their department.
That might be tougher to swing.
Is one of these teams just going to get like half the American players and create like a Team USA super team?
Possibly. Dylan Larkin also apparently he didn't quite expand his list, but in Pierre LeBrun's piece they added a couple teams, like
Dallas and Tampa.
Tampa and Dallas. They go the tax-free havens and
warm weather.
The warm weather teams.
Yep.
Oh, okay, that's where everybody wants to go. Congratulations.
Really, really stunning. Arizona couldn't make it work, huh?
Right.
Like those guys probably kicking themselves. Like all these warm weather places, southern markets. I don't know what the taxes are like in Arizona. They're probably pretty good.
Probably fine.
Like all these teams down south doing great, getting great players. They don't even exist anymore.
803-0550 is our phone number. Rich in Lakeview. Hey, Rich.
Hey, good morning. I'm looking forward to it. I remember that 82 World Cup was great. We couldn't get a game on TV unless we had aluminum foil to get good signals out of Canada. It was wonderful, and I think this is a great opportunity with the geopolitical climate. It's kind of like the same vibe before Miracle on Ice. Not that I expect it. I mean, maybe Bass Pro FC will kick off a game in Buffalo before we win a knockoff game. But the thing is, who can mention outside of Pulisic? Who can mention more, a Buffalo Bison player or a U.S. player? if they can catch lightning in a bottle, this could be an incredible month that we remember for a long time. They don't have to win the whole thing. Chances are that are even impossible. But I think it's going to be a great vibe to roll. If they can get a couple wins or an important tie and get into that knockout stage, I'm thinking it's going to be 9 o'clock at night. I'm thinking of going downtown and watching on the big screen. I think this is what it's about, and it doesn't have to be political. But I think where we are as a country, we could use some good vibes, and these gentlemen could do it for us. And I think that's what I'm looking forward to. Plus, seeing some great soccer every day after. I can't just imagine getting home after work and putting it on. And I'm just looking forward to it. I hope the best for the United States. Don't know if they're going to be able to pull it off, but they got a great chance to make a great story for themselves and the country.
Thanks, Rich. That's part of it, maybe. I mean, I don't really think there's much. I think you could say the stuff about like geopolitical and what it could be, but really, sports brings everybody together, yada yada, all that stuff. There are, however, when soccer becomes a big story in the U.S., there are two things that have to immediately happen. Number one is that American sports writers have to claim that if LeBron played, that the U.S. would win every World Cup. That's the first thing that has to happen. And then the second thing that has to happen is other sports writers and radio hosts have to tell soccer what rules they should change.
Oh, that'll happen.
Those are the two things that happen
Can't wait
every
for
time
that.
the country watches soccer.
Yeah.
The casuals show up like, I don't think they should have that offside rule like that.
Right.
Like, it's fine. They're not changing it for you. I remember Colin Cowherd maybe 8 years ago during the World Cup when it was who knows where it was, said that eventually soccer will do away with stoppage time because it doesn't make sense. Like, they're not going to do that, bud. That's not that. Sorry,
Not even sure they've had a conversation
right.
about that.
No, in fact, they've expanded it.
Right, it's longer.
It's longer. Just because you don't understand the way that they're counting down the end of the game doesn't mean they're going to change it for you. So, happy Americans try to change soccer day to all of you. Now, I say that as someone that wants to change sports constantly.
Yeah.
I want to change
Well, you just
hockey rules.
You just want VAR gone.
I want reviews gone. But the sport I would change the least about soccer is number one. I wouldn't change anything. I don't sit here and say they got to change anything.
There is VAR in the World Cup.
Yes, there is. There is. They can review a lot of stuff. Whatever.
Holy cow, by the way. Did you watch any of last night's game, by the way?
Yes.
The first half?
Yes.
It was a parade to the review desk. Like, I typically am not somebody, like, not like you that gets
just what America wants.
Frustrated
just what we want.
with how often they're reviewing. They were going – now, they weren't doing it, though, for calls. They were doing it to see if they were flagrant calls because there was a lot of extracurricular happening. Yeah, that'll happen, though, in the World Cup. And as for them, like, winning a knockout game, that's why I almost threw in, like, who they beat. Because if they win a knockout round game, that'll be great. But the way the format is now, because there's more teams and their group is easier, I do wonder what it will feel like if, like, all right, the U.S. finally won a knockout game. Who did they beat? They beat Bosnia.
Right. And now they're in the round of
Okay.
16, which was the old knockout phase.
Right.
Right.
So it's like winning a knockout game to me is different than can you, in some place, just beat a team that people feel like are like really good. Beat somebody that are realistic winners of the entire tournament. Beat somebody like that would be the Netherlands, right? Like the Netherlands not favored, and that would be probably a surprise. But could the Netherlands win the whole thing? Like, I mean, they probably make that list right at the end of it. If you beat a team like that, beat somebody that it's actually realistic to see making it to the final. More than just winning a knockout game against whoever. If they just go out and beat Scotland.
Two of the biggest U.S. World Cup results ever are ties against England. Right? We usually tie England.
The 2010
Last year,
World Cup where the goalie for England dropped the ball into the net.
Was that Joe Hart? I think it was Joe Hart.
Yeah, Dempsey shot it, I think.
Yeah. England, 2022, England 0-0. Like the 2022 World Cup, the U.S. beat Iran, and that was it. In the 2014 World Cup, the U.S. beat Ghana 2-1, and that was it. It was the only win. Algeria 1-0. Like, they've not had two wins in a group stage since 1930. So, like,
1930.
Yeah. This is a year to do it, maybe. Paraguay, Australia, and Turkey. So, good morning, everybody. Happy Thursday. The World Cup is on for pretty much the next month to 6 weeks. Mm-hmm. Got a bunch of soccer fans in here, so I'm sure we'll talk about it a lot. Of course, we've got Bills and Sabres stuff to get to as well. The Devin Levi rumor, would like to talk about that. I have a question about the Bills that I thought of yesterday and their floor as compared to some of the other teams in the AFC. So I'll kick that around for a minute. It's not like putting out negative vibes in the universe, just kind of asking a general question. So we'll get to that. But when we return, we begin the Parade of Nations. And the fun fact about Algeria and their 1982 World Cup that I went down a rabbit hole to find because it was truly incredible. So hope you enjoyed the tournament. Hope you're ready to hang out with us for it. And we'll have some fun along the way. Shots of audio coming up today. Nick Mendola on the World Cup. We'll check in with Sal. I got to hammer out a time for him. I'll text him to get yesterday's update from Bill's mandatory minicamp. All coming up here on WGR. Let me also this is my impression of everyone in America on the East Coast that is not all that invested in Spurs Knicks. Oh, wonder what that game finished out at. What? It was
That was
30,
kind of me.
It was a 30-point. It wasn't 10.
Yeah,
They're down 29 points.
29 points.
And they won 81-56. That's like a fake. It's a fake score.
I mean, the Spurs had 80 points in the first half, or they had 77. It's not like they were close to it.
Yeah, they hit 13 threes in the first half.
Yeah, and then they scored 30 points in the second half.
What?
Total.
I feel like we should go back and watch it because I don't believe it.
Yeah.
I'm watching Charles Barkley say it's the dumbest basketball team he's ever seen in his entire life. I think his phrase was, in the history of civilization. The dumbest basketball team ever, the Spurs. Just ripping threes when they didn't have to.
Yeah.
Anyway.
The end of the game sequence, you can't even, for the whole game, could you play their young card? Maybe. Like, they are young. They're younger than Michigan's starting lineup. Their, average age is, 21. They're all kids. But who's the guy that made the mistake at the end? It was the veteran all-star that they brought in De'Aaron Fox, who for some reason went up for a layup up one with 10 seconds left to get blocked. That was when he says that, that's the dumbest team I've ever seen. I'm thinking of that play in that moment, and that wasn't one of the kids. That wasn't one of the rookies.
Yeah.
Which is where, I feel like a lot of teams could have a collapse like that in a regular season game, maybe in the playoffs too, and it's not necessarily, it doesn't have to be about age, but I just, how do you do it? How do you do it? Yeah, you shoot quick threes and you go up for a layup with 10 seconds left. But by that point, it's a basketball game. I can't believe they got back into it.
I can't believe they came back. I can't believe it. And then, taking the lead for the first time with 2 minutes left. Oh, man, I forgot. Sorry, they missed that shot. Here's a breakaway.
Well, it wasn't far. It wasn't long after the miss.
Right.
Yeah, he missed an open dunk layup. I don't even know what to call it.
Yeah. Man. Well, hey. All right. Sports.
It's an all-time sports comeback.
And it happens in the game that we all decided is the most important game in the series yesterday. I asked you guys which game in a 7-game series is the most important, and we all said Game 4.
A historic comeback in the NBA Final last night. The Knicks, they were down 29 points. They were able to come back to win 107-106. They now lead the series 3-1 with a chance to put it away on Saturday with tip-off set for 8:30. The Stanley Cup Final continues tonight. The series is tied up 2-2 between Vegas and Carolina. Puck drop is set for 8 o'clock. You'll be able to catch all of that right here on WGR. Pregame will be starting at 7:30. Minicamp continues today for the Bills. It's the final day. Looking around the NFL, the Giants running back, Cam Scatterbo, dealing with the ankle injury, took 11 on 11 reps for the first time since his season-ending injury. NFL Network's Cameron Wolfe reports that the Texans think David Montgomery is ready to be a potential three-down back if needed. The Dolphins head coach, Jeff Hafley, said quarterback Malik Willis appeared more comfortable with the team's offense this week, and the Jaguars head coach, Liam Cohen, said he's not sure when Travis Hunter will be, quote, a full go. That's your Paddock Chevrolet sports headlines. Paddock Chevrolet with you for the extra mile since 1935. I'm Joe Callie for Western New York's Voice of the Fan, WGR.
Hey, everybody. Good morning. Jeremy and Joe. This is the official World Cup anthem by Future and Tyla. Is that it? It's called Game Time.
I think there's like 10
You know what?
anthems.
There are 10 for every team because if you search like a team, you'll find that everybody with any musical ability made one, and there's probably like 15 AI ones as well.
Yeah.
But I have a fun fact, and we can begin the Parade of Nations if you'd like.
I'm into that.
I mean, it's Thursday,
I'd love
June
to hear more about
11th.
these.
The Bills are at mandatory minicamp. The Sabres are waiting on deals. So here we go.
What are we starting with?
Algeria. It's alphabetical.
So this is the what was it called? The disgrace of.
There was a game
Something?
they were involved in 1982 I want to talk about, but I'm going to introduce you to all these teams. Maybe you're thinking, who should I root for? I want to find another team in addition to the U.S.
Yeah.
Maybe the nicknames would do it for you. Algeria, they're known as the Desert Warriors, or the Phoenix, which I guess is a fox that lives in the North African desert.
You like that better?
Algeria was involved in the 1982 World Cup. There was a game in the group stage. West Germany and Austria contrived to produce a 1-0 win, knowing the result would see both of them through to the next round.
Wow.
At Algeria's expense. It was that game in 1982 where the World Cup changed the rules, so the final matches in the group stage kick off at the same time. Because I saw a highlight of this game. A goal got scored 11 minutes in, and then for the next 80 minutes, the teams kicked the ball around and did not tackle each other, and nothing happened.
Really? I gotta find video of this.
And the West German fans booed their own team, and there were chants at the West Germany and Austria team. Yes, the disgrace of Gijon. 1982 World Cup.
Full highlights. It's 8 minutes long. Is it just them kicking the ball
You're
around?
going to watch nobody pressed anybody.
Okay, so there's the goal.
And that's it. A soccer hater might say it looks like a regular soccer game because nothing happens. But yeah.
This must be the wrong video. I'm seeing like shot attempts.
Anyway.
Here, the second video is the worst World Cup match, a game so bad FIFA investigated, and that looks like on my watch list later.
That's the one.
Wow, that is kind of like what people were calling for in Raiders Chargers a couple of years ago.
That's right. We
wanted them to a tie would have eliminated the Steelers.
I believe so,
and they didn't. Like if they just kneeled the ball the whole game, they both would have made the playoffs.
That game looked like it was going to go to a tie, and then the Chargers coach called a timeout,
and the Raiders said they got offended by that.
Like, all right, I guess we'll try to win, and they did, and knocked the Chargers out. Algeria, the Desert Warriors, Argentina.
So they weren't in the game. They got
they're in the group stage,
over.
And they were eliminated by that 1-0 score.
Wow.
Algeria, Argentina. Some of these teams, their nickname is just like the Selection, which is kind of like the U.S. The U.S. team is the U.S. men's national team. Do they have?
They don't have a nickname.
You could call them the Stars and Stripes, but they're really the U.S. men's national team, USMNT. And a lot of teams, their nickname is just like the team, the Selection. Not so with Australia, the Socceroos.
I like that.
Australia has.
Wait, don't they not call it soccer though?
No, they're the Socceroos.
They're the Socceroos.
Yeah. A kangaroo and soccer ball on the logo. Anyway, the Socceroos.
Okay.
Australia is the lowest population density country ever to play at the World Cup.
They do call it soccer also, by the way. I think they do.
Austria.
Lowest population density.
Yeah.
Okay.
Austria, our boys. A lot of these are going to be translated. Obviously, I'm not going to try all of these pronunciations.
I would like to hear that. I think you should try to do that.
Okay.
We should have another segment where you try to pronounce all the names.
This one's not so bad. It's Das National Team. That's the national team.
Is that Germany?
And Unser Burschen, our boys.
Okay.
That's my attempt. Belgium's the Red Devils. Bosnia-Herzegovina translates to the Dragons.
Like that.
So maybe you want to root for Bosnia-Herzegovina because of the Dragons. Right?
The second part's always a mouthful.
Herzegovina?
Just Bosnia for me. Yeah.
Fun facts on some of those teams.
Yep.
Brazil.
Bosnia's flag is the yellow
And blue.
sideways triangle with the stars going diagonal.
Brazil's the only 5-time champion, and they've played in every World Cup.
Okay. Yep.
Brazil.
I don't think, though, I can remember them being great. Well, great. Have they, played in a final in my lifetime?
Yes, they got dominated by Germany on home field or vice versa.
But that wasn't in a final.
Oh,
That was in,
a semi?
a quarter or a semi. They lost, 7-0.
7-1.
7-1.
Okay, that was a semi?
At least semi. I don't think that was the final. I'm pretty
you're right.
confident.
You're right. It was a semi.
Yeah, they have not played in a final since. Okay, this is why I wouldn't remember them playing in a final. They haven't played in a final since 1998.
All right, been a while.
And they've only played in one final since 1978. Come on, okay, come on, Brazil. Underachievers, you could say.
Canada,
Okay,
the Reds,
they could do so much better than that.
Cape
They've
Verde,
got so many good animals that they could
the Moose.
beaver, moose. Yeah, something.
Cape Verde is the Blue Sharks. It's cool, right?
That is cool. They're on the coast of Africa, or islands off of Africa, right?
Cape Verde.
Okay.
And Colombia. We'll stop our parade of nations here. Colombia. The
go on,
Los
Colombia.
Cafeteros, which is like the coffee growers.
Okay.
That's Colombia. This has been your parade of nations.
I think the U.S.
Stage one.
U.S. needs a nickname. Feels like a lot of these countries have nicknames. Something
Yeah.
creative.
803-0550. We'll get to more parade of nations a little bit later.
There
All
are
right.
48 of them.
48. You want my Bills question I've got for everybody?
Sure.
How confident is everyone, and how confident should everyone be that the Bills never have, in the Josh Allen, never have a season that all the other teams have had so far? And by that I mean the Chiefs went to the top 10. Everything went wrong. They lost every one-score game, and then Mahomes got hurt. But they were toast before that. The Bengals, Burrows had a seat. He gets hurt. The Ravens, the
Yep.
Chargers, the Jaguars had a really bad season.
Yep.
All the other AFC contenders have peppered in one, boom, everything went wrong. And we generally think it'll always, at worst, they'll win 10 games, right?
Yes, because they haven't done it. They haven't won less than that since Josh has been one of the top quarterbacks.
They haven't been below 11, never
Right.
mind 10.
Right, 10 in 2019, and Allen wasn't even what he is yet.
Right, fully formed Josh Allen, we
Right.
think we can just go ahead and bank 11 wins.
Correct.
The idea of a 7-10 season sounds like could never happen here. It could never happen here. Every other team has had it happen to them.
Yes.
And what's the Bills' insulation against that? It's really Allen. And I guess for a long time, though, we thought that was Mahomes. Mahomes would be the insulation against the Chiefs ever doing that. And then their season was kind of dying with Mahomes in.
Yeah, it was over with Mahomes in, right?
Yeah.
They were in the fourth quarter and driving at the end to stay alive, and there were 4 games left in the season, 3 games left in the season. They were about to get eliminated when Mahomes got hurt.
Yeah.
So it was going to happen, And is there a common thread for all these teams, or is it different reasons for how it happens?
It's usually injury. With the Bengals, the defense was terrible.
Right. The Bengals, like, they've proven your defense can be so bad that can nuke you.
The Jaguars, it's probably their coach, right? Before they get to Liam Cohen.
That's probably
probably the coach.
Yeah, because Lamar, you look
That's
at
Doug Peterson. I mean,
yeah.
Lamar is what? He's in and out of the lineup. When he plays, they're fine. When he doesn't, they're not.
Right. Last year was really, because he's had other years where he played 12 games in 2021, 12 games in 2022, and I think they missed the playoffs in one of those. Where Lamar will have these years where he's not healthy for every single game, and the Ravens either miss because of that or they barely get in. They did that one year with Tyler Huntley, right?
Right.
But
and then lost in Cincinnati.
Last year was the first time in his career that he personally had a losing record. 6-7 in the 13 games that he played. Now, was he playing through stuff? That could be it too. But Lamar just had a year with a losing record that you might not have thought was possible when he's on the field. Mahomes, how did it happen with Mahomes? How has it happened when it's Burrow?
How it happened with Mahomes is they lost all of their one-score games. The year after they went 11-0 in one-score games, I think they went 1-8.
Right.
They lost all their one-score games except for one.
I think I want to also leave room, though, for is the division important here for why that's happened to those other teams and not to the Bills?
Yeah, I think that's a big part of it because the AFC West has been competitive.
Yes.
AFC North has been competitive.
Yeah.
And the AFC East has not. There's really only been one good team in it with the Bills.
And the Bills beat them like they were a bad team.
Yes. And now
Miami.
New England is the new good team. But, your floor is probably built in again because there's no expectation for Miami or the Jets to be good. So it's not here to predict that it will happen, but I started thinking about it. I thought about it in two different ways. I thought about it during the draft too, which is, what separates the Bills from those teams? How come they've managed to find these other great players? And I mean, this year the Chiefs drafted in the top 5. They took an opportunity. They see themselves in the top 10, and they go into the top 5. The Bengals, what did they do? They were in the top 10, and they traded it for a premier talent. Baltimore. Couple
they
picks
picked in the middle. A
couple
lot.
picks up high. Kyle Hamilton, 14th.
Yeah.
And the Bills haven't been in the top 20 in the way they draft. So it's just, observationally thinking about everybody else has their hiccup. And I think Bills fans are, and I include myself in this, pretty confident, knock on wood.
Yeah.
I don't, outside of an Allen injury, I just don't see an avenue to that happening.
Yep.
Were all those other teams all injury-based? No.
No, the Chiefs last year
Chiefs
were
and
not
Bengals were not.
really.
And
did they have guys on their roster that were even important that got injured last year?
Probably, but not like Chris Jones.
Not
And
Chris Jones,
they've
not Mahomes
had
until the
offensive
end.
line problems. They had to patch together a couple times.
Right.
Of course, their receivers have been in and out of the lineup because of jail/knee. That happens to them.
Yeah.
So we have this belief we're kind of insulated. The Bills have been insulated. It's a credit to them that it hasn't happened. Even the Rams, 5-12, right? Stafford gets hurt. Things fall apart. It goes poorly. McVay almost thinks about retiring. So
Right, remember that.
it's just the Bills are, to their credit or luck or whatever, a team that has avoided that, one doomsday season, which, of course, you can bounce back from pretty quickly. But
Does McDermott deserve any credit for that?
probably, but you know how it works. Josh gets...
Because their regular season defenses have always been pretty darn consistent.
Josh really gets all the credit.
He does. But, I mean, he deserves...
A lot of it.
If it's not 100%, he deserves most of it.
He deserves a lot of it.
Yeah.
But you know how it goes. Allen gets almost all of the credit for what they do, and that's to the detriment of the coach and the GM to some degree.
That is to say, though, that if you give Allen all the credit, and I'm not saying he doesn't deserve most of it, but if you gave it all to him, then that would be to say you could plug him in on the Bengals, and the Bengals would make the playoffs every single year, the last 5 years. And is that true?
It might be.
If you gave Josh the worst defense in football and no run game and no offensive line,
he would throw
'cause that was
60
Cincinnati.
touchdowns.
Cincinnati had no line and no defense. If you put Josh in that environment, what would happen? Would they make it every year?
I think so.
I agree with you on the numbers. He would put up video game numbers.
Which is what Burrow does. He puts
Right.
up video game numbers.
But would they win? Would they still make it? I don't know. That's where I would want to give the Bills some credit. I would like to see a more talented roster at times, and there have been issues with McDermott over the years, but that defense always showed up in the regular season, and the roster always had guys that were at least pretty good. And the Bengals they're evidence that you can have spots on your roster be worse. Now, they have elite players at certain positions, but their defense has been so bad for so long that Burrow has to carry the whole thing, and he gets injured, right? And that's also a big difference, is that guy gets hit all the time. He's not built like a truck, and he's had a couple of injuries now that have helped derail their seasons. So I'd want to give the Bills some credit and McDermott some credit, but there's no doubt that Allen makes it so hard to ever see them having that year. Like, could they go his entire career without having a year like that? Like, I feel like they could.
Could they be the new Steelers that just have a winning record for 15 years?
Yeah. Right.
And except it's not 9-8 every year and losing in the playoffs in the first round. It's actually, being a contender.
I mean, is this year any more likely to be that year? Because no one's ever going to see it coming. Chiefs fans would have never predicted they were going to have last year. Ravens fans would never predict that they're going to have that down year. Maybe the Bengals at this point would. But what would it look like? Would it look like your defense is one of the worst in football and new coaching that is still learning on the job? Like, could that be it? Trying to get to a place like what would it look like other than injury? And maybe this defense, Leonard already talking about how I don't really know what we have yet. Like, we got to play this out. Like, what if their defense just isn't up to it, and then that is the catalyst to them having the down year that they haven't yet had?
If they had the worst defense in football, I could put this in a Twitter poll. How many wins would they have? Wouldn't you think it's 10?
It's a really good question.
10?
I would say 10. Is that?
I don't know. They're playing a tough schedule. 803-0550. Got some comments in the chat we can get to on this. 1-888-550-2550. Happy Thursday, June 11th. It's going to be, relatively nice today. Spotty thunderstorms throughout the last couple of days, but today maybe creeping in a little bit later, early afternoon. Corporate Challenge tonight. Jeremy and Joe here on WGR. Let me also this is my impression of everyone in America on the East Coast that is not all that invested in Spurs Knicks. Wonder what that game finished out at. What? It was
that was
30,
kind of me.
It was a 30-point. It wasn't 10.
Yeah,
They're down 29 points.
29 points.
And they won 81-56. That's like a fake. It's a fake score.
I mean, the Spurs had 80 points in the first half, or they had 77. It's not like they were close to it.
Yeah, they hit 13 threes in the first half.
Yeah, and then they scored 30 points in the second half.
What?
Total.
What? I feel like we should go back and watch it because I don't believe it.
Yeah.
I'm watching Charles Barkley say it's the dumbest basketball team he's ever seen in his entire life. I think his phrase was, in the history of civilization. The dumbest basketball team ever, the Spurs. Just ripping threes when they didn't have to.
Yeah.
Anyway.
The end of the game sequence, you can't even, for the whole game, could you play their young card? Maybe. Like, they are young. They're younger than Michigan's starting lineup. Their, average age is 21. They're all kids. But who's the guy that made the mistake at the end? It was the veteran all-star that they brought in De'Aaron Fox, who for some reason went up for a layup up one with 10 seconds left to get blocked. That was when he says that, that's the dumbest team I've ever seen. I'm thinking of that play in that moment, and that wasn't one of the kids. That wasn't one of the rookies.
Yeah.
Which is where, I feel like a lot of teams could have a collapse like that in a regular season game, maybe in the playoffs too, and it's not necessarily, it doesn't have to be about age, but I just, how do you do it? How do you do it? Yeah, you shoot quick threes and you go up for a layup with 10 seconds left. But by that point, it's a basketball game. I can't believe they got back into it.
I can't believe they came back. I can't believe it. And then, taking the lead for the first time with 2 minutes left. Oh, man, I forgot. Sorry, they missed that shot. Here's a breakaway.
Well, it wasn't far. It wasn't long after the miss.
Right.
Yeah, he missed an open dunk layup. I don't even know what to call it.
Yeah. Man. Well, hey, All right, sports.
I mean, it's an all-time sports comeback.
And it happens in the game that we all decided is the most important game in the series yesterday. I asked you guys which game in a 7-game series is the most important, and we all said Game 4. You want my Bills question I've got for everybody?
Sure.
How confident is everyone, and how confident should everyone be that the Bills never have, in the Josh Allen, never have a season that all the other teams have had so far? And by that I mean the Chiefs went to the top 10. Everything went wrong. They lost every one-score game, and then Mahomes got hurt. But they were toast before that. Mm-hmm. The Bengals, Burrows had a seat. He gets hurt. Mm-hmm. The Ravens, the Chargers, the Jaguars had a really bad season.
Yep.
All the other AFC contenders have peppered in boom, everything went wrong. Mm-hmm. And we generally think it'll always, at worst, they'll win 10 games, right?
Yes, because they haven't done it. They haven't won less than that since Josh has been one of the top quarterbacks.
They haven't been below 11, never mind 10.
Right, 10 in 2019, and Allen wasn't even like what he is yet.
Right, fully formed Josh Allen, we think we can just go ahead and bank 11 wins.
Correct.
The idea of a 7-10 season sounds like could never happen here. It could never happen here. Every other team has had it happen to them.
Yes.
And what's the Bills' insulation against that? It's really Allen. And I guess for a long time, though, we thought that was Mahomes. Mahomes would be the insulation against the Chiefs ever doing that. And then their season was kind of dying with Mahomes in.
Yeah, it was over with Mahomes in, right?
Yeah.
Like they were in the fourth quarter and driving at the end to stay alive, and there were 4 games left in the season, 3 games left in the season. Like they were about to get eliminated when Mahomes got hurt.
Yeah.
So it was going to happen. And is there a common thread for all these teams, or is it different reasons for how it happens?
It's usually injury. With the Bengals, the defense was terrible.
Right. The Bengals, like, they've proven like your defense can be so bad that can nuke you.
The Jaguars, it's probably their coach, right? Before they get to Liam Cohen. People waking up to that comeback.
I know.
29 points in the third quarter. Knicks end up winning. Take a 3-1 series lead and close it out in San Antonio.
You like to see them do it at home?
What a roller coaster. When the Spurs are dominating in the first half, I thought, looks like they figured them out and they're going to win the series, and it's heartbreak for the Knicks.
I saw a stat, they have led, and this checks out, they've led after the first quarter by double digits in all 4 games. The Spurs.
Wow.
And they're down 3-1.
803-0550 and 1-888-552-550. Joe put up a Twitter poll about that. Bills have a bad defense scenario. We'll talk about it with you at 803-0550 on WGR. Let me also this is my impression of everyone in America on the East Coast that is not all that invested in Spurs Knicks. Wonder what that game finished out at. What? That was 30,
kind of me.
It was a 30-point. It wasn't 10.
Yeah,
they're down 29 points.
29 points.
And they won 81-56. That's like a fake. That's a fake score.
I mean, the Spurs had 80 points in the first half, or they had 77. It's not like they were close to it.
Yeah, they hit 13 threes in the first half.
Yeah, and then they scored 30 points in the second half.
What?
Total.
Huh? I feel like we should go back and watch it because I don't believe it.
Yeah.
I'm watching Charles Barkley say it's the dumbest basketball team he's ever seen in his entire life. I think his phrase was, in the history of civilization. The dumbest basketball team ever, the Spurs. Just ripping threes when they didn't have to.
Yeah.
Anyway.
The end of the game sequence, you can't even, for the whole game, could you play their young card? Maybe. Like, they are young. They're younger than Michigan's starting lineup. Their, average age is, 21. They're all kids. But who's the guy that made the mistake at the end? It was the veteran all-star that they brought in De'Aaron Fox, who for some reason went up for a layup up one with 10 seconds left to get blocked. That was when he says that, that's the dumbest team I've ever seen. I'm thinking of that play in that moment, and that wasn't one of the kids. That wasn't one of the rookies.
Yep.
Which is where, I feel like a lot of teams could have a collapse like that in a regular season game, maybe in the playoffs too, and it's not necessarily, it doesn't have to be about age, but I just, how do you do it? How do you do it? Yeah, you shoot quick threes and you go up for a layup with 10 seconds left. But by that point, it's a basketball game. I can't believe they got back into it.
I can't believe they came back. I can't believe it. And then, taking the lead for the first time with 2 minutes left. Oh, man, I forgot. Sorry, they missed that shot. Here's a breakaway.
Well, it wasn't far. It wasn't long after the miss.
Right.
Yeah, he missed an open dunk layup. I don't even know what to call it.
Yeah. Man. Well, hey. All right. Sports.
It's an all-time sports comeback.
And it happens in the game that we all decided is the most important game in the series yesterday. I asked you guys which game in a 7-game series is the most important, and we all said Game 4.
A historic comeback in the NBA final last night. The Knicks were down 29 points. They were able to come back to win 107-106. They now lead the series 3-1 with a chance to put it away on Saturday. Tip-off set for 8:30. The Stanley Cup final continues tonight. The series tied up 2-2 between Vegas and Carolina. Puck drop is set for 8 o'clock. You can catch it all right here on WGR with pregame starting at 7:30. Minicamp continues on for the Bills. It's the final day looking around the NFL. Jaguars head coach Liam Cohen said he's not sure when Travis Hunter will be a full go. NFL Network's Cameron Wolfe reports the Texans think David Montgomery is ready to be a potential 3-down back if needed. Giants running back Cam Scatterbo, dealing with the ankle injury, took 11-on-11 reps for the first time since his season-ending injury. And Dolphins head coach Jeff Hafley said quarterback Malik Willis appeared more comfortable with the team's offense this week. Join us in the fight against cancer by riding with the WGR Ride for Roswell team on Saturday, June 27th. When you sign up, you'll get a rider gift from WGR and Tom's Pro Bike on Walden Avenue in Lancaster. Plus, at the event, stop by our table and scan the QR code for a chance to win a $1,000 gift card to Tom's Pro Bike. Visit WGR550.com for all the details. That's your Paddock Chevrolet Sports Update. Paddock Chevrolet, with you for the extra mile since 1935. I'm Joe Cali for Western New York's Voice of the Fan, WGR.
Brunson allow him to operate at the top, 101. Brunson gets it, fires up a three. Shot no good, the tip, it's gone! It's gone! It's gone! With 1.2 remaining, Knicks take the lead. OG Anunoby, and it's 107-106.
Heck of a highlight.
Yeah, the crowd mic is so
Low.
so low.
That's a game-winning tip
That's
in the finals
crazy.
at home in an epic comeback, and the crowd mic is real low.
Yeah.
The actual video of that play, like slow-mo, iconic. Really great.
So Fox is getting blamed for that play too. Not only does he go for the layup up 10 with the ball, or excuse me, they're up 1 with the ball, 10 seconds left, and get it blocked. Then he leaves Anunoby, who is unattested to the rim, and that guy's going to get blamed a lot today for all that. Even though the whole team blew a 30-point lead. Wemby went 1 of 15 in the second half or something.
Wow.
I mean, they all did. None of them played well.
It's an incredible collapse from the Spurs.
Yeah.
Instead of 2-2, they're down 3-1. Jeremy and Joe, good morning. The celebrity list at center court has been, I don't know if it's leaked or just, hey, someone took a picture of it and sent it out. It's not supposed to be leaked. But you can read all the celebrities that were there. And Ben Stiller was on the broadcast. They asked him about season tickets. Like, no, they just give us tickets, celebrities. So he has tickets. But to me, the funny part of this is the celebrity is listed and then the affiliation. Yeah. And Liam Neeson, for instance. Like,
okay.
oh, yeah, all right, Liam Neeson.
Neeson.
And then it will list what he's known for. Actor, notable roles.
Ooh. I mean, Schindler's List is going to be the first thing.
It is not. It is definitely not Schindler's List that is listed first.
Is it
Qui-Gon?
No, it's not. It's not Qui-Gon
yes,
Jinn.
that would be
If they had written Qui-Gon Jinn.
Unbelievable if they had done that. I would have
Liam
been
Neeson.
so happy.
There are 3 roles listed.
I mean, he's in so many action nonsense movies now that it is poisoned.
Right.
Is Taken on the
Taken
list?
is first.
Is Taken 2 on the list?
No.
Okay.
What about Naked Gun?
Naked Gun. It's
Okay.
Taken, the Naked Gun.
With the Naked Gun remake.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Taken, the Naked Gun, and...
So, okay, if we're already doing this, then it's got to be something else that's, like, recent. He...
Can't be Batman Begins.
It is not. It is not recent.
It's not recent. What is not recent to you? Is like the mid 2000s?
I'm going to say, yeah, early 2000s, even the 90s. No, like 2002. I don't know. That's a guess. 2004.
I want to get this so bad.
What year is that? It's going to be like 2001-ish. 2000. I'm going to give it to you.
Love Actually?
Yes.
Really?
What?
Yes. Liam Neeson.
What a 3 movies to pick for him.
Taken, The Naked Gun, Love Actually.
That is a wild 3 movie. Taken maybe should stay. Just because, like, it's kind of his number 1 action movie, and that's what he's become, but come on.
So, yeah, the celebrity list has a lot of this kind of stuff. Like Hank Azaria. You know who Hank Azaria is?
Yes. Yep.
Okay. Yeah. Hank Azaria.
He voices, like, all the Simpsons characters.
The Birdcage, The Simpsons, and Brockmire. Those are the 3 affiliations you've got for him right there. And then, of course, you've got some that are, like, the star is just too big. But Ben Stiller, notable roles. Give me the 3. The Knicks celebrity center court list, Ben Stiller, notable roles.
Should I give you what I think they should be or what they picked?
Here's my question.
Like, they're going to pick Night at the Museum.
Yes. They did pick Night at the Museum.
Larry Daly.
Meet the Parents.
Correct.
And...
The Secret Life of Walter Mitty.
No way.
No.
I love that movie.
That's a good movie.
No.
But that was crazy.
It's a cult classic. I thought maybe they'd mix one in.
Is it
Kind of.
cult classic?
Everybody Loves Mary.
Okay.
You mean Something About Mary?
Something About Mary.
Something
Yeah,
About
Something
Mary.
About Mary.
No,
Yeah, no.
Tropic Thunder?
We're looking for Zoolander.
Of course.
That's a good.
Zoolander.
That makes sense.
So here's my question.
Fine.
This
Yep.
list with the affiliations, are the affiliations there so that an usher might be like seating the person, say like, oh, I really loved you in Night at the Museum.
Maybe.
And like, why else would it be listed here? Why are we doing that?
Yeah, it's for those. It's for those people.
Is it 3 affiliations for everybody?
No, it
Because
is
I was
not.
going to say Jerry Seinfeld can't have 3. Barry Benson
Sure
in the
he
B
can.
movie.
Sure, he did the Pop-Tart movie. It was like the worst thing.
I
I've ever
don't
seen
see
in my
Jerry
life.
Seinfeld on
that list.
this list.
Okay.
So
Is Kirk Herbstreit on that list? How did Kirk Herbstreit get courtside?
I don't know. I did not see that. You got Michael Shea,
He was courtside.
Saturday Night Live. Jets owner Woody Johnson is there, and
Well, he's got the Jets and he's got an ambassador to Ireland. Or
sure.
something.
Jameis Winston courtside, Cam Scatabo,
Jameis Winston was
Isaiah
courtside?
Likely, the Wu-Tang Clan was there courtside. They were the halftime performer.
Are they the ones that said they were coming back or something? Like,
Yes.
at halftime. Okay.
They did.
All right.
I want to find you one more.
I would like another actor here.
I know. I want to give you
How
one
many
more.
other were there?
know.
Rainn Wilson, notable notable
yeah.
roles, The
Dwight.
Office.
Yep.
Um,
Couldn't tell you another single thing.
Ed
he's done.
Burns. Ed Burns is a little bit of a pull. Ed Burns is one of those guys that everybody you might know, but you don't know until you Google him and see his face. You're like,
Yeah,
okay, I know that guy.
Does he have like what he's known for?
There's 3 movies, but I'm not sure everyone
I'm
would
not
get
sure.
them.
I'm gonna-
Saving Private Ryan is one of them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Right.
A.J. McClain, notable member of the Backstreet Boys. Like,
Okay.
So yeah, this whole alumni list is funny.
Was Taylor Swift on that list?
Yes,
And then was she like?
singer-songwriter. That's it. That's all it
They
says.
just left it there.
Singer-songwriter. Yep.
Seems like an easy enough one.
Tracy Morgan.
Larry David, I saw courtside.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was.
That would be easy. Seinfeld and Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Yeah.
Right.
So anyway,
Liam Neeson. Who picked those movies?
That is so funny.
you have to have Taken for Liam Neeson
Yes.
for sure.
Absolutely.
The Naked Gun is recent, so
the
I get
Naked
that.
Gun being on there is madness.
That got better reviews than you would think it did. though.
Yeah.
Like
Really?
people liked that movie. Yeah.
But it's a remake from like 2 years ago.
It's like a sequel, isn't it?
I don't know
like
if they
the
just
OG?
revamped
I thought it
it.
was just a
reboot.
remake.
Reboot.
Yeah, I thought they
Yeah.
just kind of like, well, we got to pivot here.
Am I not giving Kirk Herbstreit enough credit that he should be courtside?
I mean, he was probably calling the game on some ESPN network. Right?
No.
I'm
He was at the game in a jersey right next to the Spurs bench. Like he was there. He was there as a fan in the front row.
Whoopi Goldberg, notable roles:
I'm gonna have a tough time
The
here.
View, Sister Act, and The Color Purple.
Okay.
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 Yep.
All right. 803-0550.
You could have gone dodgeball for Ben Stiller also. by the
Yes,
way.
yes, you could.
Or would
Could've
you not
gone.
do that because he's not really like it's not really his movie, right?
Yeah,
he's in the movie, but
He's
it's
the
not a
antagonist.
Ben Stiller movie, right? Dodgeball's a Vince Vaughn movie,
Right.
so you probably wouldn't want to put him in there.
Henrik Lundqvist was there. Michael J. Fox, notable roles. There we go. Michael J. Fox.
Michael J. Fox show.
No.
Marty McFly.
Yes. Back to the Future. Parentheses trilogy. And Spin City.
Okay,
Okay.
not Stuart. He was the voice of Stuart
No
Little.
family
also.
ties
You
on
wanna
it?
go
Oh,
Stuart
that's
Little?
right.
For whatever it's worth. Oh, Adam Sandler. Notable roles.
Oh, this.
This will be crazy.
Okay,
Happy
this-
Gilmore.
Last one here. Yes. Happy Gilmore.
Gilmore.
Yep.
Happy Gilmore.
Grown ups.
Yes.
Yes.
That's so
Which is
bad.
a disaster.
That's so
That cannot
bad.
be a
Light
top
that
3 role.
list on fire.
It cannot have
I
grown
knew
ups
it was
there.
gonna be
You don't like grown-ups?
But
Joe.
Come on.
Joe.
don't start down this road. Billy Madison or Waterboy's gonna be on there.
Neither.
Not Billy Madison.
No,
either.
neither. Whoa. Happy Gilmore, Grown Ups, and Uncut Gems.
I was just gonna say Uncut Gems.
I'm okay with that.
They had to show the range.
I'm
Sure.
okay with that.
Sure.
Grown ups on there.
It's
though,
terrible.
Is nuts.
It's a mess.
Absolutely.
Wow. Now I want this list for every game that the Knicks ever play.
Yes.
Because we got to know their notable roles. The other thing that this list of celebrities includes is everyone's Twitter handle for whatever reason.
Okay.
So, like, what are you going to check what they tweeted about the game? Or if you want to put them on the broadcast, you're going to tag them?
Could that be a social media interns list for like crediting if like there's some moment
Maybe.
where
It's a
they've
good
got to
point.
post
Maybe.
something? It's like, oh, Adam Sandler of Grown Ups.
Right,
At
right.
the
I
game
mean,
at whatever.
You might want Ben Stiller's Twitter handle because have you seen his Twitter?
Oh, it's crazy.
No.
It's all videos that he's recording. Every time they show that dude, he's got his phone out. Does he watch the game?
He's a filmmaker.
And the
He's
shots
got-
are cool. Like he's got like it's like
I will agree with
cinema.
that.
It's awesome.
He's doing a good job with it. But like you're there to watch the game, and Ben Stiller is just like, I'm just going to take up being a cinematographer for the NBA Finals.
He's gonna like find a way to worm it into like an episode of Severance somewhere.
Yes.
Right.
That could have been on his.
Ben Stiller, absolutely the dad at the fireworks show that's got like he's not watching it. He's got the phone up at all times.
He's watching it through the phone.
Every time I've looked up and seen him, he's got his phone out.
Hot Dirt in chat, shout out, says Stiller's working on a Knicks doc for HBO. That's why he's filming all that stuff.
Thank you, Hot Dirt.
That is awesome. That's going to be very cool.
That's a perfectly reasonable reason why he continues.
Good angle he gets.
That's the segment of last night's game when Ben Stiller's HBO doc on the Knicks is going to be hard.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
I'm having a so back and forth on whether I feel good for Knicks fans. I feel good for the overall for Knicks fans, but then really we got to throw an egg at Wemby as they're walking into their hotel.
That's not good. Yeah.
But there's idiots in every fan base.
What are you gonna do?
Jerry Seinfeld does have 3 notable roles. What? I found out.
Seinfeld.
Yep.
The B movie.
Correct.
I really hope the third one isn't the Pop-Tart movie.
Unfrosted.
It is. It is.
They could have just given him a credit for Curb just for being in it like
He was.
many
They
times.
did a Seinfeld reunion.
That Pop-Tart movie is an hour and a half of my life I will never get back.
Why did you watch that?
I watched
I
it
was,
too. It's a tough scene.
Jerry Seinfeld makes something, I'm going to give it a shot.
Even the Pop-Tart movie?
He
It looked a little bit like satire. It looked like it was interesting.
I didn't know what it was in for. It could have been good, right?
Last thing with this list. Last thing I'll give. I got one more find from the Knicks celebrity list from last night's game. And then I want to get to the results of the Twitter poll you posted about the Bills.
Yeah.
Timothy Chalamet.
Oh.
3. No, sorry. Timothy Chalamet, this speaks to his importance. He gets 4.
Oh,
Wow.
That's fair.
Okay, Dune.
Dune.
Yes.
Marty Supreme.
Yes.
Wonka.
No.
Oh, you didn't make
Wonka did not make the
doesn't make
list.
No, it did not make the list.
Marty Supreme,
the-
Dune.
What's the
You're going to get it. You got it.
Bob Dylan movie?
Yes, A Complete Unknown.
Complete Unknown.
That's a good movie.
Very good. I really like that.
And then Interstellar.
No.
No.
Wait, what?
He's barely in Interstellar.
Yeah,
Still.
he's
barely
yeah,
in
But
that
Interstellar.
I was gonna say, they
if
can't
you're
be on there.
he would want to be affiliated with Interstellar. It's such a great movie.
That's probably true.
I don't know. What's another
What's
one?
the Don't Look Up? The Netflix one?
No, it's Call Me By Your Name.
Ah.
All right, wouldn't have got there.
All right.
There you go.
You could have left that one out. It would've been fine.
803-0550 if you want to chime in on any of that. I don't know what you would say, but it would probably be interesting. We're up for it.
You could yell about Liam Neeson's top 3 movies of all time, I guess.
Right. It is a bit like an obituary page. Like, here's what this person is known for, this courtside fan
Right.
at Madison Square Garden. So
the
if you
poll-
joined us, a little bit late, where were you at 6 now? I brought up just a simple question. Like, are the Bills ever going to have a year where it all goes wrong? Because all the other AFC contenders, for the most part, have kind of had that year. The Chiefs had it last year. The Bengals have had it maybe twice. The Ravens have years mixed in that are kind of bad. Like, things fall apart. The Jaguars picked in the top 5. Again, none of these teams I don't think are like on the Bills' level of sustained success, obviously. But teams kind of have a year where they go down and they come right back. And for a lot of Bills fans, I feel like the floor they think is a winning record no matter what. Almost no matter what. If Allen were to get hurt, hey, whatever. Different story. But the Chiefs were just bad in one-score games. And it all kind of fell apart for the Chiefs before Mahomes got hurt. So anyway, we started talking about the idea that, like, could the Bills ever really have a season like that without injury? And it got to the defense. And what if the defense is very bad? Which led to a Twitter poll from Sneaky Joe.
And the results so far, how many wins would the Bills have if I told you that they were going to have the worst defense in football? And most people are saying 9. And then 10, and then 8 or fewer, followed by 11 plus, which is only at 7% of the people. So 9 is the most popular answer right now, which probably is not the playoffs.
The worst defense in football, they'd win 9?
Yeah. You'd probably just miss if you were going to win 9 games.
Where's Howard when you need him? All right, Howard, they have the worst defense in football. Pick the Bills.
Pick the Bills.
Did they beat Houston?
Right, he's going to
in
start.
the opener?
We could have him pick more often if we give him a different qualifier every single time.
The worst defense in football.
I think they'd still make the playoffs.
I mean,
I think they'd still make the playoffs.
they would beat the Jets twice and the Dolphins twice.
Yes, they would.
I'm
That's
at
four. That's 4 wins. I know. Now their schedule is hard.
It is very hard.
So, like, that could make this a challenging year to be the year where you would have the worst defense in football. But you beat the Raiders still. I think they just, I don't know. The thing would be they would become a different type of team, wouldn't they? Like, they've really leaned into running the ball more, and they've slowed the game down, right? Like, they have not become this high-paced team in the last couple of years. And if I told you they had the worst defense in football, honestly, my first question might be, well, how different does their offense look? Do they feel the need now to air it out and play to score 40 every single week and Allen throws for 5,000 yards? Or do they do the opposite? And do they say, our defense, this is kind of how I think people would think McDermott thought about it, is if I have the bad defense, I need to protect that bad defense. And how do I protect that bad defense? I'm going to run the ball and I'm going to slow the game down. So I'd like to know how they would react to it. Because I think I'd feel better if they leaned into, okay, yeah, our defense stinks. Let's go score 40 every single week.
It is funny how you can get to either answer.
You really could.
And
yeah.
the same is true if you have if you have the best defense ever. What should you do? Run it all the time and shorten games, or just go guns a-blazing?
And it feels like when McDermott and the Bills would enter into these games where their defense wasn't doing well,
they would want to keep it off the field.
They would get more conservative.
Yeah.
Whereas like a team like Cincinnati, when their defense stinks, they go the complete opposite direction. Like they're going to throw every single play.
Yeah.
And what will Joe Brady want to do?
It's a great question.
And
like
that's if they were bad.
Like if I could get Joe Brady to answer this question honestly, not that he would be disingenuous about it, but his first year he got the job, the playoff game against the Chiefs. You know me. I obsess about that game.
Yeah.
I obsess about that game. I'm still mad about the game plan. That a lot of people, I shouldn't say everyone, but a lot of people said they did the right thing, and I thought I hated it from the jump. And that was they played to keep Mahomes off the field because they had no linebackers. That is a defendable idea. This is what you're getting at.
Yep.
Your defense couldn't make stops because you had A.J. Klein playing. And Joe Brady's the offensive coordinator, and what did they do that game? They ran all the time. They had long drives. They're getting 4 yards a play, 16 plays. Look at the final drive of that game before Tyler Bass misses the kick. Is it 16 plays and 56 yards? Granted, Stephon Diggs did drop a bomb. And other receivers, Trent Sherfield, didn't come up with the catch too. But throughout that game, they would have second and favorable, and they would run. And they would just keep eating the clock. And I thought, the whole time, I want shot plays. I want to take out Kansas City. And instead, they ultimately lose a game that was close. Mm-hmm. And the root of this question, Joe, is like if Joe Brady is the head coach going into that exact same game in that exact same scenario, is the plan we have to protect our defense? Or is the plan we are home, we are the favorite to beat the Kansas City Chiefs, we're going to swing until they are unconscious? You know? Like, what's the right approach? I get there's cases on both sides. For me, I'm always going to be like leaning on the gas for the offensive side of the ball, and we'll see if Brady is a little bit more in that direction than McDermott was. To me, those are the games you can talk about McDermott being a little conservative, where you're playing scared. I thought they played scared that day.
Right, and you're letting your defense dictate what your offense does, not the other way around.
Yeah.
I think wouldn't you also think it would be good for your defense if your offense keeps scoring? You're putting pressure on the other team's offense. And I think that would be a good thing for your bad defense if your defense was bad. So, yeah, Brady is here, though, right? Like, he's calling plays for all of those games that we just kind of went through.
Yeah.
But that's, I guess, a part of how different will Brady be now that he
works for himself?
Answer to McDermott.
I mean, here's a wild comparison, but Don Granato was a coach under Ralph Kruger.
Nuts.
And then what happened when he got the job instead?
They could not have played a
different style. It was a very different team.
They could not have played more different.
Right. Yeah. So, like, Joe Brady, he did a good job working for Sean McDermott.
Right.
And this is – I wonder how much of the belief they'll be different is not so much Brady different now that he's not under McDermott, as opposed to it's just, oh no, a fully, completely overhauled and different mindset on defense is actually what we're going to get. Mm-hmm. I think most fans would lean towards that. That's the side of the ball that has appeared to, in crunch time, needed the most help or the most changes. So, anyway, 803-0550 if you want to if you want to chat with us, in 1-888-550-2550.
We also talked about the divisional difference that the Bills have had versus these other teams, like why maybe Baltimore, Cincinnati, Kansas City have had more down seasons than the Bills have since Allen became elite in 2020. So like Allen is one of the best quarterbacks in the league generation. Since 2020, the Bills have the best division record in football, 28-8. And the difference between where they are and like Baltimore's 500 in the last 5 years. They are 18-18 in the division. Cincinnati is below 500, 15-21. And even Kansas City, they're close. They're 25-11, but they just came off a year where they were 1-5 in the division. The Bills have not had that year yet. And I don't know that they've had the potential for that year. So that I think is that's a provably true reason why the Bills have not had a down year. They have owned their division in a way that especially the Ravens and the Bengals have not at all. Because they have I think they've just had an easier division. And they will continue to have an easier division. You only have one team you have to worry about.
803-0550, 1-888-550-2550. If you're charting how many former Bills from last year's team were not on rosters, check one off.
Yep.
A.J. Epinesa to the Eagles.
Yep.
There's a good number of Bills players that played significant snaps for them last year on their defense that were not in the league. And Epinesa signed with the Browns, failed the physical, visited the Dolphins. That didn't happen. Signs with the Philadelphia Eagles.
My brother does Locked On Eagles. Lou, he texted me last night after they signed A.J. Epinesa, and the text was, he has 4 interceptions in the last 3 years. I'm like, I think he just bats the ball straight up into the air and catches it. I couldn't tell you for sure that was every pick. I'm pretty sure all of them where he batted the ball, it went straight up in the air and he caught it.
Yeah. He's a fine...
He's a guy.
He's a guy. He's a fine, solid guy.
That's probably the one thing he did really well. Like, he would stand there and bat balls because he was pretty tall.
Dave in Buffalo. Hey, Dave, good morning.
Hi there. Thanks for taking my call. There are a couple of things that your discussion evoked for me. One is that one of the real advantages that the Bills D is going to have is that there is no film on them in real game situations, and that is going to be something that gives them an advantage actually coming into their first game and probably into the second game too. So I think the Bills D actually is in a good position because there's just no film on their tendencies and what they do, and particularly in the analytics of this league, the over-analytics, I think that's going to be a real advantage. The other thing I think that needs to be taken into account is the offense, that it doesn't matter primarily whether it's McDermott or whether it's Brady. Josh Allen is the rate-determining factor for this offense, the same as it was last year. And how he goes is how the Bills go. So I'm looking forward to those first couple of games because I think we have some real opportunities.
Thanks, Dave. The point on the defense, I think, is legit. I mean, we have no idea what it's really going to look like. You'd have, I mean, Jim Leonard's never been a defensive coordinator in the NFL, but he's underneath the Broncos defensive coordinator.
Yep.
And, I mean, I'm not even sure that Leonard knows what it's going to look like, right? He kind of said the vision might not come together in year one. We're throwing as much as we can at them to see what sticks and see what works. And, right, the McDermott defense, if there was one thing about it that was said, is it was you know what's coming. You know what they're going to do.
Yep.
They're going to do it well. Can you beat it? And McDermott would basically place bets. You can't beat us when we execute well. And that was often very true. Teams did not beat the Bills' defense all that often in the regular season. So in game one in Houston, what will this defense look like? Will they frustrate and have trouble with C.J. Stroud and David Montgomery? Which, by the way, did you hear the update from Joe Cali? That they're talking about David Montgomery as a 3-down back?
Yeah.
I only say that because I have him in a fantasy league that Joe and I are in together.
I was assuming that's why you were bringing
that up. That's why I said it.
up.
Sorry to bring it up. But anyway, on Houston, I think it's a fair point about the defense not having a lot of tape on what they're going to do.
Yep.
The downside of that is, do they have any players that are worth, focusing on? We'll find out.
Yeah.
Ed Oliver had great things to say about T.J. Parker. I saw that yesterday. So, they just need a couple guys to hit, and if they do, then we could be off and running with something great on defense. But it's a work in progress. It's very much to be determined. I'm not sure what to think of the defense, and I think the defensive coordinator himself is eager to see what they've got and maybe unsure.
Total wild card. Like, I don't think it's unrealistic they could be one of the worst defenses in football. I think middle of the league is probably most likely, but
yeah, I would bet
they could
like,
also be around like the 10th best offense in football. But I think defense. I think the variance on their defense is really wide.
Yeah. 803-0550 is our phone number. We'll continue the Parade of Nations World Cup preview. Nick Mendola joins us at 8 o'clock. 2 World Cup games on the way later today. The first is Mexico and South Africa at 3 o'clock. And the U.S. plays tomorrow night. Jeremy and Joe, your phone calls. Sal, we'll check in with Sal coming up the 9 o'clock hour as well here on WGR. Let me also do, this is my impression of everyone in America on the East Coast that is not all that invested in Spurs Knicks. Jeremy White here for Z-Bart. Wonder what that game finished out at. What? That was 30,
kind of me.
It was a 30-point. It wasn't 10.
Yeah,
they're down 29 points.
29 points,
and they won 81-56. That's like a fake. That's a fake score.
I mean, the Spurs had 80 points in the first half, or they had 77. It's not like they were close to it.
Yeah, they hit 13 threes in the first half.
Yeah, and then they scored 30 points in the second half.
What?
Total.
Huh? I feel like we should go back and watch it because I don't believe it.
Yeah.
How did I'm watching Charles Barkley say it's the dumbest basketball team he's ever seen in his entire life. I think his phrase was, in the history of civilization, the dumbest basketball team ever, the Spurs. Just ripping threes when they didn't have to.
Yeah.
Anyway.
The end of the game sequence, you can't even, for the whole game, could you play their young card? Maybe. Like, they are young. They're younger than Michigan's starting lineup. Their, average age is 21. They're all kids. But who's the guy that made the mistake at the end? It was the veteran all-star that they brought in De'Aaron Fox, who for some reason went up for a layup up 1 with 10 seconds left to get blocked. That was when he says that, that's the dumbest team I've ever seen. I'm thinking of that play in that moment, and that wasn't one of the kids. That wasn't one of the rookies.
Yep.
Which is where, I feel like a lot of teams could have a collapse like that in a regular season game, maybe in the playoffs too, and it's not necessarily, it doesn't have to be about age, but I just, how do you do it? Yeah, you shoot quick threes and you go up for a layup with 10 seconds left. But by that point, it's a basketball game. I can't believe they got back into it.
I can't believe they came back. I can't believe it. And then, taking the lead for the first time with 2 minutes left. Oh, man, I forgot. Sorry, they missed that shot. Here's a breakaway.
Well, it wasn't far. It wasn't long after the miss.
Right.
Yeah, he missed an open dunk layup. I don't even know what to call it.
Yeah. Man. Well, hey. All right. Sports.
It's an all-time sports comeback.
And it happens in the game that we all decided is the most important game in the series yesterday. I asked you guys which game in a 7-game series is the most important, and we all said Game 4.
Historic comeback in the NBA final last night. The Knicks, they were down 29 points at one point. They were able to come back to win 107-106. They now lead the series 3-1 with a chance to win the whole thing on Saturday. Tip-off set for 8:30. The Stanley Cup final continues tonight. The series tied up 2-2 between Vegas and Carolina. Puck drop is set for 8 o'clock. You'll be able to catch all of the action right here on WGR with pregame starting at 7:30. Minicamp continues for the Bills for the final day. Looking around the NFL, Giants running back Cam Scatterbo, dealing with the ankle injury, took 11 on 11 reps for the first time since the season-ending injury. The Dolphins head coach Jeff Hafley said quarterback Malik Willis appears more comfortable with the team's offense this week. Jaguars head coach Liam Cohen said he's not sure when Travis Hunter will be a full go. And NFL Network's Cameron Wolfe reports that the Texans think David Montgomery is ready to be a potential 3-down back if needed. That's your Paddock Chevrolet Sports Headlines. Paddock Chevrolet with you for the extra mile since 1935. I'm Joe Cali for Western New York's Voice of the Fan, WGR.
You know what's weird is the stadium that I knew about football slowly falling down, and not just falling all down at one time, it's just slowly being tore down. That's weird. I haven't gone in the new one, but like I say, I watched the old one slowly in the most dramatic way fall down. I mean, they start with one side and just slowly tearing down everything I know about football. And I see this brand new stadium that almost looks out of place. It's so beautiful and new, and it almost looks out of place.
Ed Oliver. He wasn't asked about the stadium, I don't think. I saw John Scott tweet that, and he said he just kind of started talking about the stadium.
Yeah.
One thing, I also saw Deion Dawkins talk about the new stadium. He has been in it, and he said the impression, if I could paraphrase a little here, he says his impression was you walk in and you, in a different way than you ever did at the old Highmark, you look up. Whoa.
Yeah.
This thing is steep.
It's tall and steep.
Speaking of which.
I was driving by it at night the other day, and there was like a red light glowing on the inside,
Beautiful.
which I'm assuming was just the scoreboard probably.
It's probably red lighting. I mean, they're going to have colored lights. Colored lights!
Colored lights.
Speaking of colored lights, when does the are we getting started on Buffalo construction? Any day now. We're ready.
We don't have them on site yet, we don't think, though.
We don't think so. My giant
yesterday they were still
metal
in, what is it, Lancaster?
Lancaster. They're being assembled. It's pronounced assembled in Lancaster, though.
Do you think we'll get to a point where like someone will see them on the highway in Pennsylvania?
Yes, that's the dream.
Everybody will get alerted and then get there and line up as they enter.
If they were fully
like a parade.
Listen, if they were fully assembled and on the flatbed of a truck, and they offered the opportunity to drive them in a caravan, how many people would do it? 100? More
than that.
Come on, escort the giant buffalo to their new home.
Yeah.
803-0550, our phone number, and 1-888-550-2550. Jeremy and Joe. An incredible game in the NBA last night where the Knicks rallied from down 29 to beat the Spurs, who went brain dead status.
Brain dead, all of it.
Yep. How to lose a game when leading by 29. Not a great road performance from the Spurs down the stretch.
They could be up 3-1 so easily.
The Spurs, yeah. Game 2 and Game 4 go differently.
Wemby throws it away at the end of Game 2, and then they're up 29 last night. They could so easily be up 3-1 in the series.
803-0550 if you want to throw us a phone call, and 1-888-550-2550. Nick Mendola coming up at 8, World Cup preview. We're bringing back juicy rumors today because there are, there's some stuff leaking out in the NHL. I mentioned there's a new Matt Larkin Daily Faceoff that lots of teams are calling about Devin Levi, which I think would make sense. Mm-hmm. He's too far down. He's buried, and somebody might take a flyer on that.
The league clearly sees him as an NHL goaltender.
The Sabres clearly don't, right? They just don't.
They don't, and they also have 3 guys they probably like.
But they had 2 guys before, one of them on a short-term deal, the other one they claimed off waivers ahead of him. Like they just,
right?
They
don't see the evidence in which they don't think that is the beginning of the season, when they didn't just make one move to make sure he wasn't their third goalie. They made two. Alex Georgiev was on this team for a minute in the preseason.
That's
because they didn't want Levi to be the number 3. That could also be because of his development, I guess. But right now you're at a point where just what's the argument for him over the 3 guys ahead? Like, unless you want to clear $4.5 million in space with Luukkonen and just go with the other 3. There really isn't one.
Yeah, I think that there's definitely the star has dimmed for him, but I do think that there was a commitment from them at the start of this year, like a decision was made to, like, this guy needs the AHL. If we believe in him or not, if he's going to become something, he needs to just play down there. So that might explain a little bit of the, bringing in some guys to make sure he wasn't up.
Sure. Hasn't he done what they've asked down there?
For the most part, yeah. Like, he's definitely not been bad.
I'll tell you, there are a couple examples of this, and I'm sure players would know this too, Owen, you would know this, where a team tells you, listen, all you got to do is this, and then you do it, and it doesn't actually matter to them.
Yeah, that is...
Like, that's the Sabres have talked Rochester up forever, and guys will go down to Rochester, and it really, if you do well and they like you, great. If you do well and they don't, then it's like, well, whatever.
Right.
I'm thinking about Lawrence Pilot, who went down and was like on the All-Star team in back-to-back years in the AHL, and the Sabres wouldn't let him sniff the NHL.
Yeah.
He did what he was asked. Not that he ended up being great. Just the point that, like, they're going to tell you that, but they have maybe already decided on you in most cases.
Right. And I think that's when, if you get to that point where you're a guy that has had a path laid out in front of you of like, well, this is how you have to do what we want you to do to get where you want to go. And you are walking that path, and then, you get a roadblock built right in front of you. That's when a player gets really frustrated. And that's when you get a trade request or a like, all right, guys, it's like, this isn't, what are we doing? Because I'm doing what you asked, and it's working. I've been good down here, and you're blocking me. And it doesn't really sound like you care. And, Yarmo's going to say all the stuff like, we believe he's an NHL goalie, whatever, but their actions are their actions. And I think this would be, if they really believe that, then you might see them move Luukkonen for some cap space and like, okay, all right, let's see it, dude.
I wonder the reaction if they actually move Luukkonen. I feel like it would mostly be, like, whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Mostly.
Right.
I think pretty much. Yeah, I think that's appropriate.
I mean, if they went into the season with their 3 goalies, and this wouldn't be without an upgrade. I'd love to have Hellebuck. But
Lyon, Ellis, and somebody?
What if it was Levi as your third goalie? Or, somebody else. Doesn't
matter.
matter.
How much worse off would you be?
How much less confident are you going to be?
Confident? I don't know.
Like, I wouldn't
probably
be,
no different.
I don't think it's as good a group, but it's also...
I would be not that confident.
Is it worth over $4 million?
I'll tell you this.
In difference?
If you are... Here's what I would say.
Because I don't.
I know that there's goalie voodoo and all that, but if you are the Buffalo Sabres attempting to win now and enter a season with Alex Lyon, Colton Ellis, and Devin Levi, you're unserious about the position.
I agree with that, because Levi is so unproven at this point, and Ellis, it looked good, but it was so few games.
I mean,
that
it looked chaotic. It looked
chaotic, but his numbers were good at the end of the day.
Okay,
he got there.
And there are guys.
I can't, my heart can't. How many games are you gonna play? My heart cannot take Colton Chaos.
Like out of 7.
I mean, maybe I can. Maybe I want that ride.
Like goals saved above expected last year out of 70 goalies. Like he was squarely in the middle of the pack as a rookie that played like once a month without any rhythm whatsoever. Like to me, that's kind of impressive. It just doesn't seem as impressive because the other 2 guys were like in the top 10.
Right.
But I think he was fine, and
it's just such a. You want Hellebuck, or I'm fine as a hopeful contender.
I didn't say that.
With 3 guys that make a combined $2 million.
I didn't say that. I think it would be debatable. Is it worth $4 million that I'm going to do something else with? If you just want to look at goalie and isolate it from the rest of the team, no, I would say Luukkonen is a part of it. That's a better trio if he is in it than Levi, for sure.
Who is playing in the Stanley Cup final right now for Carolina?
Brandon Bussey.
And who is their backup goalie for him the other night?
Okay, but here's the thing.
And Anderson is essentially he's 50% better Lion.
I get it.
And like I know that it is a position that at this time in the league, if you don't have an elite guy, it almost does not matter what else you have. And that's just where the game is.
I might agree with that, but again, like if I'm trying to win and contend, Oh, and you know more about goalies and the voodoo than anybody, but the comparison I've made a couple times is golfers. Who won the tournament this week? Some guy you've never heard of. Okay, who do you think is going to win the U.S. Open? A guy you've heard of that's awesome. Like Scotty Scheffler doesn't win every tournament. Mm-hmm. He's the best. He's the best golfer. And whether it's Justin Rose or it's Rory, like we know who the best are, and they're not the best every week of their lives and every week of the year. But if I'm placing a bet on who will be the best chance for me to actually win the Stanley Cup, I want to have the best one I can. I don't think the lesson is, well, since Carolina had two guys that weren't ever good before, I don't need somebody that wasn't ever good before. I know it means the door is open to have a guy get hot, but I think the GM's job is not to just say it's a complete dice roll. It doesn't matter.
It is, though, a position that is more replaceable or it's really more random. And it might be one of those where when you are picking out where I want to divert my assets as a team, because it is more of a dice roll than the other positions, that's the one where all right, I got to pick something to not pay big assets to.
Sure.
Like that's where it's running back in football in a way. I think it's more important to the game than running back in football, but the randomness might be similar.
Yes.
And what's the list of Super Bowl running backs? Like it's any Damian Williams. It doesn't matter. Like you just throw a guy in there. If the rest of your team is great, guess what's not going to matter? Running back.
Well,
and I feel like goalie does matter, but it's tough when you have a list of guys that have played in the finals in the last decade. Where, yeah, you've got Vasilevsky and Bobrovsky in there, but otherwise it's kind of random. Like Aiden Hill wins the cup and he's there. Stuart Skinner makes it to the finals.
Sure, you've got
Martin
Vasilevsky and
Jones.
Bobrovsky in there. How many cups between them?
Is it 5?
Yeah, I think that's...
Or 4?
I mean, you're giving me Stuart Skinner made a final, and these guys won 5 cups.
But everything else is just guys that did it one time. They Anton Khudobin. It happens.
It is just... It's almost impossible to project anything about the position, and that's why I've been on the only move worth making there is a big move.
To that point, the question I was going to ask you is, you're talking Hellebuck, we're talking Tuck, if not Tuck, a replacement for Tuck. Who is the easier player to find the caliber of player that he is? If it's Hellebuck for what's he make 9, or Tuck for 9? Yeah. I'm choosing between those two. Who is the easier player to replace?
Tuck. Without question. Do you guys disagree with that?
That level of play, I think Tuck is easier to replace.
But I would say that I thought your answer would be Hellebuck because you said there's only Hellebuck and really nobody else there. But
right,
you're
that
saying
makes him harder to replace.
Right, you could replace him in from the bottom and say somebody down, whatever, a random guy.
Right, I feel like you could get a goalie that in the playoffs would play as well as Hellebuck, but I'm not going to know. I'm not going to feel confident in that until it's actually happening.
Exactly.
Where I could get a guy tomorrow that's as good as Alex Tuck, and I'm just going to know that guy's as good as Alex Tuck.
Right.
That's
opposed to the goalie.
So you're almost both right. You could replace Hellebuck's production. It's just going to feel like
you have no idea where you're
unsettled in it until it's actually happening and it's in front of you. And that's where, to return to the Luukkonen part of it, is Luukkonen so much better than random goalie B that it's worth $4.5 million to say, I know I've got a guy that's really good there. Because so far his career is every other year he's good and every other year he's bad.
Would you trade Luukkonen? Fine, you go in next year. Let's do Ellis, Lyon, and Levi. Holy crap, hold on for dear life, but you keep Tuck.
I just think
that could buy you Tuck.
I might
just
like that.
think that collection of goalies seems unserious. I know Lyon had a great year, and I like Lyon quite a bit. But if you are a true contender, it doesn't seem serious.
That's why, because
I don't disagree.
Ellis and Levi together in a trio is, I think, what really makes that unserious. Honestly, I think if they thought right now, we can't trust this goalie, Luukkonen, we can't trust this guy to play in the playoffs and to be a regular starter, to plays 40, 50 games a year, given what he's paid. So, we'd like to move off of him. If they thought that, I would bet they would go add somebody else.
I think that's right.
And the guy would be cheaper. But someone who's played in the league, I think, would be the other guy that would come in here and pair with the other two.
Stuart Skinner. Someone like that. Which sucks.
No, I know.
But it's
but the plan is, hey, the guy that
Bobrovsky
successfully cost McDavid a cup.
Right.
What if he came here?
Well, never mind. Bobrovsky's bad name because he'll cost more than Luukkonen.
Right.
8030550. Our Parade of Nations. We've got a couple more teams for you to meet for the World Cup, including the Leopards, the Elephants, the Blazers, the Blue Wave.
The Elephants.
Yeah, there's a team, the Elephants.
All right.
Jeremy and Joe, Nick Mandola, a World Cup preview, 8 o'clock here on WGR. What if the defense is very bad, which led to a Twitter poll from Sneaky Joe.
And the results so far, how many wins would the Bills have if I told you that they were going to have the worst defense in football? And the most people are saying 9, and then 10, and then 8 or fewer, followed by 11 plus, which is only at 7% of the people. So 9 is the most popular answer right now, which probably is not the playoffs.
The worst defense in football, they'd win 9?
Yeah. You'd probably just miss if you were going to win 9 games.
Where's Howard when you need him? All right, Howard, they have the worst defense in football. Pick the Bills.
Pick the Bills.
Did they beat Houston?
Right. He's going to
in
start.
the opener?
We could have him pick more often if we give him a different qualifier every single time.
The worst defense in football.
I think they'd still make the playoffs.
I mean,
I think they'd still make the playoffs.
They would beat the Jets twice and the Dolphins twice.
Yes, they would.
That's
four. That's 4 wins. I know. Now their schedule is hard.
It is very hard.
So that could make this a challenging year to be the year where you would have the worst defense in football. But you beat the Raiders still. I think they just. I don't know. Would the thing would be they would become a different type of team, wouldn't they? Like they've really leaned into running the ball more and they've slowed the game down, right? Like, they have not become this high-paced team in the last couple of years. And if I told you they had the worst defense in football, honestly, my first question might be, well, how different does their offense look? Do they feel the need now to air it out and play to score 40 every single week and Allen throws for 5,000 yards? Or do they do the opposite? And do they say, our defense, this is kind of how I think people would think McDermott thought about it, is if I have the bad defense, I need to protect that bad defense. And how do I protect that bad defense? I'm going to run the ball and I'm going to slow the game down. So I'd like to know how they would react to it. Because I think I'd feel better if they leaned into, okay, our defense stinks. Let's go score 40 every single week.
It is funny how you can get to either answer.
You really could.
And the same is true if you have the best. If you have the best defense ever, what should you do? Run it all the time in shortened games, or just go guns a-blazing?
And it feels like when McDermott and the Bills would enter into these games where their defense wasn't doing well,
they would want to keep it off the field.
They would get more conservative.
Yeah.
Whereas like a team like Cincinnati, when their defense stinks, they go the complete opposite direction. Like they're going to throw every single play.
World Cup begins today. You want some more fun facts on some of the nations and
Yes.
some of their names before we get to Nick Mandola on the other side? Democratic Republic of Congo, the Leopards.
Okay.
The Ivory Coast is the Elephants. The fun fact about the Elephants is that their logo is an elephant, and it's also like an elephant with a soccer ball. And for the Ivory Coast, they don't actually have that many elephants. There are 37 countries in the world that have more elephants than the Ivory Coast. 38th in elephants, but
I saw the Ivory Coast is the largest church on earth.
Oh, bigger than the Sagrada Familia?
I guess.
Really? That thing's pretty big.
Is a church different than a
basilica?
No, it wouldn't be. Right? It shouldn't be.
No, it's a church. I mean, you ever seen that thing? The basilica?
I've seen pictures.
It is the most stunning thing I've ever seen in my life, I think. Like, man-made thing. In my travels through the world, like, the basilica is unbelievable.
I'm looking at the one in the Ivory Coast, and it almost feels like it's okay. You know what? It's big. It's the biggest by area. It's not very tall, but it's like
all right.
large.
Hey, respect.
Yeah.
Croatia, the Blazers. Curacao, the Blue Wave.
Okay.
The Czechia is the representatives, like the team. What that kind of means.
The representatives.
Ecuador, La Tri. Not to be confused with Mexico, which is El Tri. For tricolors.
Okay.
Egypt is the Pharaohs.
Makes sense.
Everybody knows England.
Yeah, but why am I having a brain fart right now?
I don't know why. Three lions.
3 lines. Yeah.
Yep.
I kept thinking Hatters in my head, and I'm like, that's a Premier League team, right?
The Hatters.
Who's the Hatters?
Yeah. All right. 803-0550, our phone number. We'll get a World Cup preview. The U.S. plays tomorrow. The tournament starts today. Jeremy and Joe also talking the Knicks' furious comeback. And Game 5, Carolina-Vegas, is going to be tomorrow.
A historic comeback in the NBA Final last night. The Knicks were down 29 points at one point. They're able to come back and win 107-106. They now lead the series 3-1 with a chance to put it away on Saturday. Tip-off set for 8:30. Stanley Cup Final continues tonight. The series tied 2-2 between Vegas and Carolina. Puck drop is set for 8 o'clock. You can catch it all right here on WGR with pregame starting at 7:30. Minicamp continues on for the Bills for the final day. Looking around the NFL, Giants running back Cam Scadaboo, dealing with the ankle injury, took 11 on 11 reps for the first time since his season-ending injury. Jaguars head coach Liam Cohen said he's not sure when Travis Hunter will be a full go. The Dolphins head coach Jeff Hafley said quarterback Malik Willis appeared more comfortable with the team's offense this week. And NFL Network's Cameron Wolfe reports the Texans think David Montgomery is ready to be a potential three-down back if needed. World Cup gets underway. The first match at 3 o'clock today. Mexico takes on South Africa. That's your Paddock Chevrolet Sports Update. Paddock Chevrolet with you for the extra mile since 1935. I'm Joe Cali for Western New York's Voice of the Fan, WGR.
We got banned this song. This is the U.S. World Cup theme, the team's theme. It's terrible. I got Joe Kelly has the Portugal theme later. We're gonna play that.
Hey,
I'm honorary Portuguese this month.
the last time we weren't very happy with a song for a team, that team went off and did amazing.
They went far. That's right. 803-0550.
Would you have preferred it to be "Kickstart My Heart"
Yes.
as a World Cup theme?
Yes, it would have been better
That'd been great.
than that. 803-0550 if you want to join us. Jeremy and Joe, happy Thursday. The World Cup begins in 7 hours, 3 o'clock today.
I feel like it would be a public service to let everybody know that the Knicks did win last night, by the way.
Yes.
Because I think every time someone wakes up, they might be learning from us that the Knicks won last night.
That's right. Did this Nick win? Nick Mendola? The Knicks won, and we've got a Nick on to talk about it.
Nick?
Yeah. The Knicks.
I don't actually know if you're a Knicks fan.
No, I'm not. I'm a Celtics fan, but I have so many friends who are Knicks fans from going to UB. Because UB is the furthest you can get away from New York City and still pay in-state tuition. So I'm happy for a lot of them right now.
Well, good. It was a wake up and check the phone. Holy cow! There's no way that actually happened. So the Knicks are up 3-1. And Nick, let me ask you this: like Nick Mendola, NBC Sports, on the World Cup here. You're covering the event. You're going to a bunch of the games. We're going to have you on, post-U.S. games. Would I be right to say that the last World Cup blended in with other sports because it was in the winter, and that's why it feels like it's been a while since I've seen the World Cup kind of take over the U.S. and take over the sports scene? Now it's back in the summer, and you feel like it will?
Yeah, I think that's totally fair. I mean, it was also in Qatar, right? So there was this, I don't want to say that it was bad or good, but the vibe wasn't as good. Like look, there's a lot of problems right now with the World Cup in the U.S., but more people are traveling to the U.S. And Canada and Mexico. There's going to be more atmosphere. So I'm avoiding the political discussion. I think just less people went to Qatar. There was less to do there in terms of, what we were celebrating outside of the sport, and that's nothing against them. I just think in the summer, away from most of all the other sports, and I think there's a lot more expectation around the United States as well. I think that can't help but help.
Yeah.
180,000 tickets, by the way, unsold, Nick. No, we talked about this last time. They're not going to be empty seats, right? They're gonna find a way to sell those, right? Or is it too soon?
Have to. There's a conspiracy theory going around, and I'm trying to play my part in it. I'm not going to lie to you, because I want to take my son to a game independent of the work I have to do, and it's just been brutal. But the conspiracy theory is that FIFA wants to save face, and so they're only going to release cheaper tickets through the secondary market. And I'm kind of like, as much as I would hate that, I'm kind of hoping that's the case, because it's brutal. I mean, the cheapest tickets I found as of a couple days ago were for games in Toronto, like Senegal versus Iraq, or I think it was in Philadelphia, if I'm Curacao, Ivory Coast, and you were still talking like cheapest seat, $250, $300.
Yeah. Nick Mandola joining us on the World Cup as things get started today. Mexico, South Africa, and South Korea and Czechia. The U.S. plays tomorrow night. All right, Nick, to the U.S. Last we spoke, they had not yet played their 2 friendlies, the warm-up games, and I think by most accounts, those went pretty well, right? Like the outcome, whatever, it's a friendly, and not everybody's going, not every top lineup is in. What were your takeaways from how the U.S. warm-up games ultimately looked?
Well, first of all, you have to contrast them to their last 2. So they've scheduled, credit to them, some very, very good teams. And that helps because the very, very good teams wanted to play games in the U.S. before the tournament. And Belgium and Portugal and back in March wiped the floor with them. So there was a chance for them to kind of, I don't want to say remedy that, but rebuild the hype. With Senegal, very good, probably the best, if not the second best team in Africa, and then Germany, who is always good. And Senegal they beat, and they looked good, at worst fine. Germany they lost, and they looked excellent. They were without their best defender. You could say that both of the goals were at least in part down to a player who probably won't play because Chris Richards, the star center back, was being saved for tomorrow. So I think they guys, you'll love this. In my art analysis article, I quoted Lindy Ruff. I said they filled the hope tank. If you remember that back from what was it? Yeah, they went a long way, not just themselves, but with the average American fan. They filled the hope tank.
That's good. One of my questions conceptually, Nick, is like, why will it be different this time around? Joe mentioned earlier, the golden generation, and there are more players maybe in this World Cup team that are playing in high-profile club teams than in years past.
Way more that are playing in Europe.
Yeah, way more. So will it be because the Jimmies and Joes are better, or will it be the X's and O's? They got a coach that rates a little bit better. Are they structurally better? Are they talented more so? Is it both? And that's why things should go better this time.
Yeah, I mean, I think the answer is yes on both. And there's the third. Well, there's 4 things, right? It's on home soil. That is a huge, huge help. And the tournament's bigger. There are more chances for you to not just get out of the round, because it's not just the first 2 teams in your group. Some third-place teams will make it. And if you are to win your group, I think it's a guarantee you're getting a third-place team. Because it's set up for the hosts in the next round. So I just think the hype is there, and we'll talk about the team and the players, but not just that. They've played all 3 teams in their group. I mean, the perfect twist of fate within the last year and a half, and they beat 2 of them on American soil. So and a lot of this golden generation guys played in a World Cup together already. So there is every reason to believe it will be different this time. I read something the other day. Someone was, I don't want to say ripping on, but they're like, it was Landon Donovan. It's like, hey, we made it to the quarterfinals in 2002, and we haven't made the right progress. We haven't, made it further than that since. I said, all right, so to make it to the quarterfinals, you're one of the best 8 teams in the world. And even the U.S., at its most confident, would say, I don't know that we're one of the 8 best programs in the world. Like, this is the sport in the entire world. I gave a presentation where my wife teaches, and I won't say what school because, Jerry, you're very familiar with it. I made a presentation to the 5th and 6th graders there the other day, and I did the math for them. 1.5 billion people watched the World Cup. 1.2, what was the number? 126 million was the streaming figure, something like that, from the last Super Bowl. It is impossible to state, whether you like soccer or not, how many teams in the world are powerful and how many people care about this. So if we're judging by a standard of, is this potentially the best, most talented, best coach U.S. team, men's team, I should say, to ever play at a World Cup, it feels potential-wise unequivocally yes.
Yeah. Right, and the result doesn't have to equal that, right? Like, Morocco made the semis last World Cup. That doesn't mean they're one of the 4 best programs in the world.
Right.
So when thinking about that, though, like, what do you look at as their potential to do what Donovan said? Like, make it to the quarterfinals and even go, further than that would be insane. The question I wonder for that, Nick, because I feel like if they just do their job and don't really implode, they'll do well in the group and win a knockout round if they get a third place team, like you said. I still wonder like what they'll look like against those good European teams, not even maybe like the best teams in the world, but like your Belgiums that they've played in the past or the Netherlands when they've been at World Cups. And I don't know, the Germany game wasn't, I know they lost, but they had the ball a lot. And I feel like when they've had games like that in past World Cups, they're always on their heels.
Yes, and I would expect that once it gets to the World Cup, it will not quite look that way if they line up against Germany. Antonio Rudiger did not play for Germany just the same way that I said that Chris Richards didn't play for the U.S. I don't think it'll be as possession heavy for them, but I do think they now have a guy who is not looking to, I don't want to say outthink the opponent, because everyone's looking to outthink the opponent, but with Berhalter, who I liked just fine, there were just some moments, like in the knockout rounds against Netherlands, where he starts a forward, Jesus Ferreira, who I don't remember if he hadn't played in the tournament or if he hadn't started in the tournament, and they basically eliminated the center forward position for 45 minutes because he looked lost. And the stakes here are just so high that the experience factor does matter. And I know we talked about this. Jeremy and I, what did I start working together with him 20 years ago at GR? And I think we were early on the, like, get rid of terms like, we say the word momentum too often, experience too often, that sort of thing. But I do think in these scenarios that it is a variable, and it's a very real variable. And it's one of the reasons I'm nervous with the U.S. is they have a keeper who's probably not going to start, who played a whole World Cup, whereas the other guy we haven't seen there. And there's just something to that experience level when you're going up against a team that has better pedigree and years of tradition on their side.
Nick Mendola joining us, previewing the World Cup, which gets started today, Mexico and South Africa, the first game. So, Nick, in the group, the first matchup for the U.S. is Paraguay. I mean, let's do like what a shouty show would do. Is that a must-win? Like they really kind of have to come out with a win, because by all accounts, the toughest opponent in the group is Turkey, and that's the third game that they've got. So maybe Australia is the weak link. Is this a game you feel like they've got to have?
Whew. Yes, I do. But I think it's again, not to advance, but to set their expectations and to put themselves in that driver's seat for winning Group D, because I think they can win their first two games. And it's Turkey A, excuse me, that's how we're supposed to say it now. Turkey A is very good. I think they're a team that they beat the U.S. last summer, and there's a very real chance there for the U.S. to go 3-0 in the group, but it just doesn't always seem to go that way. And you want to go into that game knowing the stakes, like feeling the stakes in terms of winning the group, because if you finish first, you're playing on July 1st in Santa Clara against the third-place team from one of 5 groups. And when you're playing the third-place team from the group, like look at any other group, an England or a Germany or a Portugal, maybe they slip out of first in their group, but they're not dropping to third, right? And you're giving yourself to wet your feet. In the West Coast, by the way, they're staying in the West Coast, I believe, unless they make the round of 16.
Yeah, it's Inglewood, Seattle, and Inglewood. Yeah, all their games are out west.
Right. So if they win their round of 32 game and they go to the round of 16, it's the first time they'll have to leave the West Coast. Other teams will be moving across the country potentially to meet them. So get your feet wet in the round of 32 as a favorite before you have to sweat that game of, all right, now we're here potentially playing, the winner of Group G is the way that they're looking. Not to project too far down the line, because I know you asked me about the first game, but the winner of Group G, guys, round of 16 versus Belgium. We've been there before. Or it's Egypt with Mo Salah. So for me, this is a situation where winning the first game is a must-win for the spirit, for the expectation, for that golden generation thing you mentioned. It's telling Australia, yes, listen, we're here, we're doing as we expected, and now you're coming in here. And it's getting to that Turkey A game at, having that potential to be 2-0 going into that game.
So to this point, like, for anyone that doesn't know, the field has expanded, and it used to be first and second in the group is going to get through, right? You're there, and you're going to cross over. If you win the group, you're going to play a second-place team in the crossover group and vice versa. But this format is not just that. It is third-place teams that make it. So the standings will basically kind of look like wild card standings. And are we very likely to see deep tiebreakers here, Nick, to find the 8 best third-place teams?
Yeah, I have no idea. Very likely, I would say it feels at least likely, if not very likely. But we've never really been here before because it's not just that it's 8 of 12 third-place teams, right? Yeah. So that's why I said the U.S. has such a great chance to get through. If they don't win a game at this World Cup, they'll be humiliated. They win one game, they'll have a very good chance, right? Like, that's what you're looking at, because there are going to be groups where teams go where there's a team with 3 draws or a team with just 1 win, and win one game and you're putting yourself in position to pick up a draw and go to the next round. Like, this is, especially in this group, it's not a weak group, guys. Like, that's the thing I'd like to point out. It is a favorable group, but all of these teams, I think the average, someone said, and by someone I mean like FIFA or a real report I read, the average team in this group is like, we do the mean median mode situation from school, right?
Yeah.
They're all around the same. There just isn't, like, the U.S. being the power is good news for the other 3 teams in the group.
So the way that tiebreakers work, if you go far enough down, like you got first place is through, second place is through, third place, it will go to most points, of course, goal differential, most goals, all the way down. Fair play, which has been used, is it once or twice before? And
correct.
The 7th tiebreaker is just the FIFA world ranking. So if you get all the way down to that, like, oh, sorry, they have a higher ranking than you, they go through.
Yeah, and a completely flawed system, by the way, because FIFA ranks teams by when they're playing in meaningful games, right? Like, if you're in South America, you get a win against a really good South American team. There's 10 teams in South America. Most of their games are played against each other, and almost all of the teams are good. Whereas the U.S. can play a meaningful game, with all due respect to El Salvador, against El Salvador, and it's easier to beat El Salvador, even in El Salvador, than it is for, Peru to beat Brazil. So, even that is favorable to a CONCACAF team.
Yeah, and fair play is like, if you get a yellow card, it's minus a point. We could watch a team miss the knockout stage because of a yellow card or a red card somewhere along the way.
Nick, what's Pulisic on the line for him? Like, are we talking about him already being the greatest player in U.S. history? Does he need this tournament to play? I mean, he's 27 years old, so it's not like he'd be done after this, but he's been around for a decade now, and you would think this is like squarely in the prime of his career.
Yeah, listen, a couple of years ago, you guys asked me, is he all ready? And Jeremy texted me the night before. I answered, and he goes, okay, we're talking about this on the radio tomorrow. He's there on the cusp. Like, we're talking about that at 27. This is someone who, the year they missed the World Cup, still nearly willed them at 18, or was he 17 even, like, right into the World Cup. He is an exceptional talent. He's a driven competitor. He doesn't get as much pub, I think, or as much favorable pub around here sometimes, because his interviews are a little suspect in terms of charisma, I might say. But he is exceptional. He was the best player on AC Milan last year. This season, for the first half of the season, he was their best player. He can change a game through creativity, through drive. He is literally going to be the focus of every opposition. He'll be up there for one of the most fouled players in the tournament for as long as the U.S. go. And if he has a halfway decent tournament, if he's a strong part of the reason that they win a knockout round game, the discussion becomes, has he passed Dempsey? To me, it's Dempsey. A lot of people say Dempsey or Donovan, and all the respect in the world to Landon Donovan. It's not a problem to be the second best player in your national team's history. But for me, because of the what Dempsey did on a club level as well, between Fulham and Tottenham, and what Pulisic has done on a club level, the tiebreaker goes to the World Cup. And we can point to Clint Dempsey moments at the World Cup. We can point to him scoring against big teams in groups of death, the same way we can point to Donovan scoring against Algeria in one of the most memorable World Cup wins of all time. So that's where we're at with Pulisic. If he can lock down an iconic moment, and I think the odds are in his favor, or an iconic win, or man, the U.S. went 3-0, and their guy was there for every bit of it. And, it gets a lot harder to say it's not a discussion, but it is. Yeah, very strong chance, guys. If he has his moment, you might say he's already there.
Yeah.
Outside the U.S., Nick, who's the worst team you think could win the whole thing?
The worst team that could chop. You asked the best question, sir.
How many teams could we get there to? Like, where's the cutoff?
You can talk me into 10 to 12. I would say a quarter of the field, because there are real questions. And I know this is such a goofy thing to say, but when you see the reports, and we've talked about this before, of some teams like England, like, man, is it hot here? Guess who's not worried about it? All the South American teams. A lot of the African teams. The host nations do well at these things, and there are 3 host nations, so you have to give very real consideration. Canada's not going to leave Canada for the U.S. won't leave the U.S. Mexico won't leave Mexico for quite some time. So you've got your standard fare, you've got your Frances, you've got your Germanys, you've got England, of course. I think they're a fantastic team. But then you start to look like Morocco made that run, and they're a fantastic team coming out of Japan is a dark horse as well. So, and there are 4 or 5 teams in South America I like. So if you made me dig for it, I could probably get you to 15. I think I could get you to 15.
Wow, 15. Meanwhile, Joe put together a League of Nations. We had a pool.
Yes.
We drafted all 48 teams, 12 people, 4 picks each. Who should have been the first pick? Owen Parker, parlay killer, goalie, analyst extraordinaire. He had the first pick. Who should the first pick have been?
France.
That's who he took. Who should be the second pick?
Yeah. Oh, boy. Yeah, you'll laugh, but England.
England went 4.
They went 4.
If Harry Kane, if he was Brazilian, people would talk about him like Messi, but he's English and he's got a little bit of a goofy voice. But yeah, England
he does have a voice that the first time you hear it, it absolutely shakes you. The first time you're like, "Wow, I didn't see that coming."
Yeah.
Argentina, I think, would be in your top 4.
They went 5.
Spain would be in there.
They went 2.
So what we're saying here is Jeremy was reaching when he took Portugal at 3.
I had to take Portugal.
I don't think no, that's not a reach.
Not a reach.
The only reason it's a reach is for you're going to grow very, very tired of this discussion. But it's should Cristiano Ronaldo still be starting?
Right,
because he's 41. Right. He's an icon. He's got statues all over Portugal, and frankly, they're better with him coming off the bench.
Yep.
But it's like it's telling Pele, like, hey, bro, have a seat.
Right.
Thanks for all you've done. But Portugal can win the tournament. Portugal could have won the last 2 tournaments with a younger Ronaldo, and now you're talking about a player who's still fine, but is one of the greatest of all times and should be coming off the bench. And I imagine by the time they get to the knockout rounds, it's going to be, hey, buddy, you want to win a World Cup?
Yeah.
But he is starting going into it?
He started the last couple of games.
Okay.
He has had a few moments where you're thinking, I don't know, dude. Like, your country still really wants to win a World Cup, and you have the biggest ego of anyone, well, outside of politics, and you might want to sit this one out.
Am I right in thinking that Mo Salah, did he miss the last World Cup? He got hurt right before it?
I think that checks out.
And did he come back for the second or third game, but was limited? But, yeah, there was a real World Cup scare. I don't remember.
Okay.
That World Cup, you mentioned it being like going into the abyss. For me, working at NBC, the Premier League is like it's like such a big focus for us. And then all of a sudden it was like, hey, we're going to take a pause. And then in a week and a half, World Cup. Yeah. And so it's still very muddled for me outside of the U.S. games.
They did not qualify for the last World Cup.
Was it because he got hurt in qualifying?
Maybe. They lost to – remember the laser controversy? It was like Egypt and Senegal.
Oh, my God. Yes, of course.
Yeah.
Yes, there was the shining lasers in the players' fences during penalties.
Right.
Yes, and I totally recall.
They missed the World Cup because of that. And it was like – you watch the video of it. It's not like one guy with a laser. Like, remember Kyle Orton?
Yeah.
There was like one guy with a laser. This was like 50 lasers like being shot at these guys. It was crazy.
Insane. It was insane. How did I forget that?
Yeah.
Wow.
Nick Mendola, NBC Sports, NBC Soccer. All right, Nick, finally, who's the pick? Who's going to win?
Oh, boy. All right, listen, I have had a gut feeling for a long time that it's going to be Brazil. And a part of it is the side, it's the hemispheric thing. It's the kind of spirit behind it. They haven't reached their levels in some time. They watched Argentina do it. I think I've watched, their games with Argentina show me that both of those sides are kind of lethal. They've just got to get the clinical finishing out of their forwards. I mean, that's the thing. Who's going to step up for them? Because at the midfield with Bruno Guimaraes, Casemiro, even as we saw with Manchester United and his renaissance, I really feel like Brazil's going to do it. The odds say France, though. France are too deep, like at every position. They might be three. They cut a team of players who could win a group at the World Cup.
Yeah.
Like this is as deep as it gets. And one of the subplots of the entire tournament is the first. I think it's the first game for them, France against Senegal, where there's a huge controversy. If you're in France, is that how many of French players come from Senegal via either colonization or a French-speaking nation, et cetera. So I think France, it's the easy money. That's the easy money bet, right? It's betting the Dodgers to win the division, right? This is the best team with the deepest team, and if there was a payroll, the deepest payroll.
Yeah. Nick Mendola, soccer writer for NBC Sports on the Western Hotline. We'll talk next week, Nick. We'll get a Game 2 U.S. preview, look back at the Paraguay game, which is tomorrow night. So enjoy the tournament. We'll talk next week.
Thank you very much, sirs.
World Cup today, Mexico and South Africa. Do you want Mexico, again, is El Tri. That's their team kind of name.
Yep.
And South Africa is Bafana Bafana, which translates to the boys, the boys.
Nice.
Yes, exuberant fan base.
They scored.
They cheer that during games.
When the World Cup was in South Africa in 2010, the opening game, I remember someone from South Africa, Sabalana maybe is the guy. I think he played in Europe.
Arlo White's on the call.
He scored from like the moon. It was like the first goal of the tournament, and he was so far away, and he just lasered it in there. World Cup memories.
Yep.
That's my only South Africa World Cup memory, though.
The South Africa World Cup, I was in Amsterdam for the final when Spain played the Netherlands.
Okay. I remember all the U.S. games being very dark. Maybe it was the time of day. Like, it was pitch black.
That was the
around us.
Vuvuzela.
Because they also didn't have big stadiums.
There's two things I remember from that cup. Vuvuzelas, endlessly.
Oh,
And number
right.
two is a very, very deep poll, and I don't expect anyone else to remember this. I'm pretty sure I've got this lined up. Peter King covered that World Cup for Sports Illustrated.
Okay.
And he lamented that in the stadium there was not a clock to tell him what the time was.
Like the actual time.
Like what time
not
is it?
game time. Like the
right.
time of the day.
And people responded, the actual game clock, just add the time to it. Like it's soccer, we start the game on time.
Right.
If it says 45 minutes in and the game started at noon, it's 12:45.
Right.
Like you can do the math on what time it is without a clock.
Right. They will start today's first game at 3 o'clock.
And it will start.
Well, right?
The
U.S. won't poison soccer and start time stuff,
I don't want a movie preview poison this game. This game better start at 3. It's FIFA.
We went to a 6:30 movie the other day, showed up at 6:57, and the movie had not started yet.
I got to walk around for a minute. That makes me so mad.
You got to add a half hour.
It makes me so...
You got to add a half hour.
It's so upsetting that
it was just
happens.
starting. Yeah. It was like 20. It was 20. I made sure to remember 27 minutes after the official start time.
We got to break in. I got to walk. I got to walk around. I got to take a walk. What if the defense is very bad, which led to a Twitter poll from Sneaky Joe.
And the results so far, how many wins would the Bills have if I told you that they were going to have the worst defense in football? And most people are saying 9, and then 10, and then 8 or fewer, followed by 11 plus, which is only at 7% of the people. So 9 is the most popular answer right now, which probably is not the playoffs.
The worst defense in football, they'd win 9?
Yeah. You'd probably just miss if you were going to win 9 games.
Where's Howard when you need him? All right, Howard, they have the worst defense in football. Pick the Bills.
Pick the Bills.
Did they beat Houston?
Right. He's going to
in
start
the opener?
We could have him pick more often if we give him a different qualifier every single time.
The worst defense in football.
I think they'd still make the playoffs.
I mean,
I think they'd still make the playoffs.
They would beat the Jets twice and the Dolphins twice.
They would.
That's
That's
four.
That's 4 wins. I know. Now their schedule is hard.
It is very hard.
So like that could make this a challenging year to be the year where you would have the worst defense in football. But you beat the Raiders still. I think they just. I don't know. Would the thing would be they would become a different type of team, wouldn't they? Like they've really leaned into running the ball more and they've slowed the game down, right? Like they've not become this high-paced team in the last couple of years. And if I told you they had the worst defense in football, honestly, my first question might be, well, how different does their offense look? Do they feel the need now to air it out and play to score 40 every single week and Allen throws for 5,000 yards? Or do they do the opposite? And do they say, our defense, this is kind of how I think people would think McDermott thought about it, is if I have the bad defense, I need to protect that bad defense. And how do I protect that bad defense? I'm going to run the ball and I'm going to slow the game down. So I'd like to know how they would react to it. Because I think I'd feel better if they leaned into, okay, our defense stinks. Let's go score 40 every single week.
It is funny how you can get to either answer.
You really could.
And
yeah.
the same is true if you have if you have the best defense
Right.
ever, what should you do? Run it all the time and shorten games, or just go guns a-blazing?
And it feels like when McDermott and the Bills would enter into these games where their defense wasn't doing well,
they would want to keep it off the field.
They would get more conservative.
Yeah.
Whereas like a team like Cincinnati, when their defense stinks, they go the complete opposite direction. Like they're going to throw every single play.
You want my Bills question I've got for everybody?
Sure.
How confident is everyone, and how confident should everyone be that the Bills never have, in the Josh Allen, never have a season that all the other teams have had so far? And by that I mean the Chiefs went to the top 10. Everything went wrong. They lost every one-score game, and then Mahomes got hurt. But they were toast before that.
Mm-hmm.
The Bengals, Burrows had a seat. He gets hurt.
Mm-hmm.
The Ravens, the
Yep.
Chargers, the Jaguars had a really bad season.
Yep.
All the other AFC contenders have peppered in one, boom, everything went wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And we generally think it'll always, at worst, they'll win 10 games, right?
Yes, because they haven't done it. They haven't won less than that since Josh has been one of the top quarterbacks.
They haven't been below 11, never
Right.
mind 10.
Right, 10 in 2019, and Allen wasn't even like what he is yet.
Right, fully formed Josh Allen, we
Right.
think we can just go ahead and bank 11 wins.
Correct.
The idea of a 7-10 season sounds like could never happen here. It could never happen here. Every other team has had it happen to them.
Yes.
And what's the Bills' insulation against that? It's really Allen. And I guess for a long time, though, we thought that was Mahomes. Mahomes would be the insulation against the Chiefs ever doing that. And then their season was kind of dying with Mahomes in.
Yeah, it was over with Mahomes in, right?
Yeah.
Like they were in the fourth quarter and driving at the end to stay alive, and there were
A historic comeback in the NBA Final last night. The Knicks, they were down 29 points at one point. They were able to come back to win 107-106. They now lead the series 3-1 with a chance to put it all away on Saturday. Tip-off set for 8:30. The Stanley Cup Final continues tonight. The series tied up 2-2 between Vegas and Carolina. Puck drop set for 8 o'clock. You can catch all of it right here on WGR. Pre-game will be starting at 7:30. Minicamp continues on for the Bills. Final day. Around the NFL, Giants running back Cam Scatterbo, dealing with the ankle injury, took 11 on 11 reps for the first time since his season-ending injury. Jaguars head coach Liam Cohen said he's not sure when Travis Hunter will be a full go. Dolphins head coach Jeff Hafley said quarterback Malik Willis appeared more comfortable with the team's offense this week. And NFL Network's Cameron Wolfe reports the Texans think David Montgomery is ready to be a potential three-down back if needed. The World Cup gets underway. First match at 3 o'clock, Mexico versus South Africa. That's your Paddock Chevrolet sports headlines. Paddock Chevrolet with you for the extra mile since 1935. I'm Joe Cali for Western New York's Voice of the Fan, WGR.
Is that Taylor Swift down there?
No, I think Gray was just saying her name for no reason to distract me.
No, that's her.
Yeah, but where?
With that long ponytail. Ain't that her in the blue? Yeah, I literally was like, that's her. She's not a
I'm
Knicks
recording
fan.
it right
Get
now.
out of here, girl.
The Knicks crew got hot mic'd. One of our preview shots of audio coming up 9 o'clock hour. Joe Kelly has put together the best shots of audio of the week. We'll get to those and react to those.
Yeah, she has been a Knicks fan since 2014.
Okay.
But she's not a New Yorker. So
Fine.
she
It's
just
fine.
decided at some point I'm going to like the Knicks.
Totally allowed.
But it's not like last night she decided to like the Knicks. Like it's been.
What's the proof in 2014? We have a lengthy internet search history. What do we have?
I saw a tweet of her like wearing a jersey.
Okay.
Like probably at a game back then. Yeah.
Fine. You like a team since 2014, you're good to go.
Yeah. I'm wearing a Liverpool jersey. It's probably around when I started liking Liverpool.
Fair.
It's fine.
803-0550 is our phone number. World Cup starts today. We're excited about it. Also have had some conversations about the Bills mandatory minicamp. Tomorrow, we're going to talk with TJ Parker, Bills rookie edge. TJ Parker joins us at 8 o'clock tomorrow. And we also have a Odyssey Soccer Insider tomorrow. Jamie Watson joining us at 9:30 to preview the U.S. and Paraguay.
Yeah.
Is it Paraguay or Paraguay? Because it's Uruguay.
I thought it was Paraguay, but I'm
Because
not
Uruguay.
Sure.
So I feel like because
and,
of
well,
that,
that's Uruguay, I think.
sure, but the guay is what I'm going for.
Yes, yeah,
Uruguay.
yeah.
So it should be Paraguay.
Do we know how many of the 48 do you confidently feel like you can pronounce?
Ooh, I
Of the
mean,
48 nations.
There's in our language and versus theirs is
I know. Like Nick mentioned Turkey.
Turkey.
Turkey. Right, thank you. That is the English pronunciation now, I believe.
Okay.
Czechia we're down with at this point, right?
Whatever they want to be called, I want to say it right.
Cape Verde?
Sure.
Maybe there's not that as many hard ones as I think there are. Algeria, that's good. Curacao, we're good on that.
Yeah.
All right, maybe it's like almost all of them.
Pete is on the phones. Hey, Pete.
Hey, good morning, guys. How are you doing?
Good. Pete. What's up?
Good. Hey, we got a couple long-time listeners, but I got a first-time 5-year-old caller in here. We've been heading down to the stadium, me and Finnegan, enjoying some donuts and watching the stadium come down, and was listening yesterday and was curious if you guys had any updates on the Bills Buffalo statues going up.
Thanks, Pete. I've only got what people are sending me. I've got you know how it works. Like we've got some people that know a guy that knows a guy that knows a girl that knows a guy. My sources tell me they have not yet left Lancaster. I'm going to mispronounce Lancaster, PA, more than any country in the World Cup. That they have not left yet. Like final inspection on their way soon. Maybe that's today. I feel like if we talk about it enough, someone will just tell us they're on their way.
Yeah. I am seeing pictures, maybe you saw the same thing, of like what the pathway is going to look like or does look like as it's being built. Like it looks pretty set up for them to just come in and be put right in.
Good.
So, can't imagine it's that much longer.
Thanks, Pete. And shout out to
Lancaster
Finn there.
or Tunisia. Is that Tunisia?
Tunisia?
Tunisia.
Sure. 803-0550 if you want to jump in. Once they start going up, I feel like it'll be. Are they going to put up?
Well, they also have
barriers because people are going to want to watch it.
Well, there is
or
like
am I the only idiot that cares about this?
Oh, barrier for the actual construction
yeah,
of them. Or
will people show up to watch them be built?
I'd imagine they'll have like a construction fence of something.
Well,
Just until they're in.
Will there be spectators?
And until you have the fence, not fence. There's a moat, right? Isn't there kind of a moat and then like a
moat?
short?
I want there was.
I
don't think there's a moat.
There's a ring around it, right?
Yeah, you call it anything but a moat.
You wouldn't call it a moat?
A moat requires water.
Isn't there water? It's a fountain, right?
Where?
There's like a. I
No.
thought there was water that goes around
the
it.
giant buffalo are not a fountain. No.
No, right. Like there's not water shooting up into the air.
No, there's
what
no.
what is the thing then? It's just a path that goes around it.
Yeah. Family circle. It's definitely not. It's definitely not a moat.
I thought there was a small moat that was going around it. Why did I remember that?
I don't know.
From the original meeting, I thought that was the thing.
I don't know. This is the.
All right. Well, not a moat, but there is
the Mandela effect. I've never known there to be any moat concept.
Wasn't the point anyway. There's like a small fence that's supposed to prevent you from jumping over to get into it.
Yes.
And I'd imagine a construction fence is there until that's in at least.
Sure.
You have to do that.
You would think.
All right, so no moat.
No moat. Keep giving us the updates, though. I want them all. 803-0550. Should we do more Parade of Nations and learn more fun facts about some of these World Cup teams?
I'd love to know more.
Let's do it.
Who don't we know anything about?
I mean, we've only made it to the D's, so the F's. France, the Blues.
Okay.
Germany, Germany. Ghana, the team is the Black Stars.
Yep, knew that.
Reference to the large black star on the flag.
We've got to know them pretty well over the last 15 years.
Haiti, Les Grenadiers.
Okay. Les Grenadiers. All right, they're French speaking.
Iran is the national team. They're known as the Lions of Iran or the Princes of Persia. It's Team Melli. That is.
Okay.
I might be mispronouncing that. It's not, again, doing the best they can here off of an article about all of the teams' names. Iraq is the Lions of Mesopotamia. Japan, Samurai Blue.
Nice, like that. One of the teams that does not wear a color that's in their flag.
Japan?
Right, they wear bright blue, don't they?
Yes, I think that's right.
All right.
What other team doesn't wear a color in their flag?
Italy. I mean, they're not here.
They wear blue.
They wear blue, and there's no blue in their flag.
Yeah.
There's probably a couple others.
Yeah.
Like, imagine the U.S. just decided, we're just going to start wearing purple. We're going to make that our color for the team.
Going through some of our fun facts and names, like Jordan is, sorry, scroll back up. The chivalrous.
The chivalrous?
Yep. Or the noble, by translation. South Korea, the Reds.
The Reds.
Red Devils in
we
there as
already
well.
Have two Reds.
Just a couple.
Canada's the Reds.
Mexico, El Tri, as I mentioned, the stripes, the green, white, and red. Morocco is the Atlas Lions.
Oh, that's cool.
Atlas Lions. It's a lion,
Lions.
one of the names of the now extinct Barbary lions. So the Atlas Lions.
I'm
Netherlands, like Syracuse, the orange, pronounced the orange, but they wear orange, and that's not on their flag.
That's another one. That's true.
New Zealand is the All Whites.
Right.
Inspired by the rugby team that's the All Blacks. They're the All Whites.
Yeah. New Zealand had a World Cup where I think they didn't lose. And maybe did they draw 0-0 all 3 times?
You are thinking of a team.
I thought they did that.
Yes, there's a team that did not score a goal and didn't. I thought it was Austria.
Okay, here it is. They at the 2010 World Cup, New Zealand
unbeaten
went 3 draws, no wins, no losses, and they allowed 2 goals and scored 2 goals in 3 games.
And finished third in the group.
Yeah.
And went home.
1-1 against Slovakia, 1-1 against Italy, 0-0 against Paraguay. Yeah.
Norway. They have cool uniforms, Norway.
They're doing a lot of cool picture stuff,
They
too. Like, they arrived on a Viking ship?
Yeah.
Or they made it seem like they did?
Panama, the Canal Men. Makes sense?
If you did a fact or fiction and asked me if they were the Canal Men, I would have 100% believe you made that up.
For sure. Norway is the only country that Brazil has played and never beaten. Panama, the Canal opened in the same year the U.S. men's team joined FIFA.
Okay.
That's a fun fact, I guess.
They come on, there's nothing else in Panama? It's just the Canal?
Paraguay is the white and red.
Panama, I saw the only place on earth where you can watch the sunrise over the Pacific and set over the Atlantic from like the exact same spot.
You can see both oceans?
Yeah. You could sit
see
in
the
a
sun.
place.
Sorry, you could see the sun.
You could see the sun.
Maybe you can't see the ocean, but you can see the sun.
Rise over the.
I don't know.
I'm getting mixed up. The sun would rise over the Pacific.
No. Try again.
Okay, the Atlantic.
Yeah.
Right. And then you could stay in the same spot and watch it set over the Pacific.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll take your word for it. We get a break in. This has been the Parade of Nations.
Has it made you like any of these nations more than?
I drafted the teams that I wanted in our league here. I went Portugal in the first round. I took Ghana and Algeria.
I regret my last pick in that thing because really, what's the design of it? You want to add a little incentive to root for teams.
Yeah.
And I picked Saudi Arabia in the fourth round.
I took Curacao.
And I'm like, they were the best team at the time. Like, I don't want to root for them.
Why don't you wear
Should
like
have picked Uzbekistan.
Wear a live golf hat to your match.
I got the immediate joke by Brian Mazurowski. Like, how much money did they pay? The second I was like, oh, what did I do? Why did I do that?
803-0550. World Cup begins today, 3 o'clock. We're going to check it with Sal at 9 o'clock in the 9 o'clock hour. Also, we'll keep him short on the minicamp takeaways and also get to our shots of audio brought to you by Outlet Liquor. When you need to stock up, it's the place to buy a case. What if the defense is very bad, which led to a Twitter poll from Sneaky Joe.
And the results so far, how many wins would the Bills have if I told you that they were going to have the worst defense in football? And the most people are saying 9, and then 10, and then 8 or fewer, followed by 11 plus, which is only at 7% of the people. So 9 is the most popular answer right now, which probably is not the playoffs.
The worst defense in football, they'd win 9?
Yeah. You'd probably just miss if you were going to win 9 games.
Where's Howard when you need him? All right, Howard, they have the worst defense in football. Pick the Bills.
Pick the Bills.
Did they beat Houston?
Right. He's going to start.
In the opener?
We could have him pick more often if we give him a different qualifier every single time.
The worst defense in football.
I think they'd still make the playoffs.
I mean,
I think they'd still make the playoffs.
They would beat the Jets twice and the Dolphins twice.
Yes, they would.
That's 4.
That's 4 wins. I know. Now, their schedule is hard.
It is very hard.
So, like, that could make this a challenging year to be the year where you would have the worst defense in football. But you beat the Raiders still. I think they just, I don't know. The thing would be they would become a different type of team, wouldn't they? Like, they've really leaned into running the ball more and they've slowed the game down, right? Like, they have not become this high-paced team in the last couple of years. And if I told you they had the worst defense in football, honestly, my first question might be, well, how different does their offense look? Do they feel the need now to air it out and play to score 40 every single week and Allen throws for 5,000 yards? Or do they do the opposite? And do they say, our defense, this is kind of how I think people would think McDermott thought about it, is if I have the bad defense, I need to protect that bad defense. And how do I protect that bad defense? I'm going to run the ball and I'm going to slow the game down. So I'd like to know how they would react to it. Because I think I'd feel better if they leaned into, okay, our defense stinks. Let's go score 40 every single week.
It is funny how you can get to either answer.
You really could.
And the same is true if you have the best. If you have the best defense ever, what should you do? Run it all the time in shortened games, or just go guns a-blazing?
And it feels like when McDermott and the Bills would enter into these games where their defense wasn't doing well,
they would want to keep it off the field.
They would get more conservative.
Yeah.
Whereas like a team like Cincinnati, when their defense stinks, they go the complete opposite direction. Like they're going to throw every single play.
For more comfort.
Now's the perfect time to make yourself comfortable with a new electric heating and cooling system from Belknap.
In Western New York, summer and winter bring extreme temperature conditions. Make yourself comfortable with Mitsubishi electric heat pumps, designed to keep your home cool in the summer and warm in the winter, no matter how hot or cold it gets outside. Call Belknap today to learn more.
I'm Gary Gorfel, president of Belknap. We work on your schedule. We don't charge more for weekends and evenings. That's why we say,
give Belknap a ring.
Time for the pick of the week, brought to you by Riverfront Auto Sales. And the pick at Riverfront is a 2009 Ford Mustang Coupe. You'll rule the road this summer in this legendary, iconic, sleek, modern, classic 2009 Mustang. It delivers timeless style and pure American muscle performance. See it today at riverfrontautosales.com. 1379 Niagara Street. Online at riverfrontautosales.com. Call 716-886-1626. Pick of the week is going to be like, what, the World Cup?
Yes, definitely. That's what I would pick. I might have picked Game 5 of the finals if the Spurs had hung on last night, but now it feels like it's...
I'm not picking a Stanley Cup game.
It's a wrap. What game of the World Cup would you pick, though? You just pick the U.S. game? Is there another...
By the way, don't let this song get by. This is Portugal's theme.
This is? I think I like this better than the U.S. one.
Tell me you're not dancing in your car right now. Listen to this.
They don't play till next Wednesday, so that can't be the pick of the week.
It's a vibe. All right.
What's the best game? Brazil-Morocco, Saturday at 6.
It's a good one.
That's the best game.
Sal, on the other side, in addition to shots of audio, and we also owe you something else. What was the other thing I was going to get to? I'll remember. Maybe. I shouldn't promise that, but I'll try.
This is a getting old moment?
I'm just too vibing. I'm too busy vibing with the song. I'm going to drive around and play this later today. Just all the players' names.
Could you bet on a Portuguese-speaking nation to win the World Cup? Is that a bet I can make? Could you do that? What would the odds be by language? There's got to be bets like that.
Some countries have 3 official languages and 2 official languages. Like Belgium has 3.
Right. Switzerland has like 4, don't they? Yeah.
All right. Back in a minute.
A historic comeback in the NBA Final last night. The Knicks were down 29 points. They were able to bounce back and win 107-106. They now lead the series 3-1 with a chance to put it away on Saturday. Tip-off set for 8:30. Stanley Cup Final continues tonight. The series tied up 2-2 between Vegas and Carolina. Puck drop set for 8 o'clock. You'll be able to catch all of that right here on WGR with pregame starting at 7:30. Looking around the NFL Network's Cameron Wolfe reports the Texans think David Montgomery is ready to be a potential 3-down back if needed. Dolphins head coach Jeff Hafley said quarterback Malik Willis appeared more comfortable with the team's offense this week. And NFL Network's Cameron Wolfe reports the Texans think David Montgomery is ready to be a potential 3-down back if needed. The World Cup gets underway with the first match at 3 o'clock, Mexico versus South Africa. You can join us in the fight against cancer by riding with the WGR Ride for Roswell team on Saturday, June 27th. When you sign up, you'll get a rider gift from WGR and Tom's Pro Bike on Walden Avenue in Lancaster. Plus, at the event, stop by our table, scan the QR code for a chance to win a $1,000 gift card to Tom's Pro Bike. Visit WGR550.com for all the details. That's your Paddock Chevrolet Sports Update. Paddock Chevrolet with you for the extra mile since 1935. I'm Joe Cali for Western New York's Voice of the Fan, WGR.
Sal Capaccio joining us on the Western Hotline to wrap up Bill's mandatory minicamp and talk about a lengthy delay, as he pointed out, and Matt Bove pointed out on Twitter. I was reading just moments ago, Sal. Is it 40, how many days? Like a lot of days until we're back at training camp. The calendar, the way that it falls this year, this break after minicamp to training camp is a long one.
It is a full, summer break for kids, basically. You know what I mean? Usually you don't get that when it comes time to this. So you go from today until what we figure will be, it's not official yet, it's not out yet, but you can do the math on the CBA. The first practice is going to be July 29th in Rochester, most likely. Players will report on July 28th. I did the math. I put it out today. Is that, 42 days, 48 days? I think it's 48 days.
Yeah.
That's kind of wild. I've never seen a dead period this long. And just so everybody knows, this is not a Bills decision. This is the NFL calendar. The latest possible Labor Day this year that we can have on the calendar means also a very late week one, since the league starts after Labor Day, and the CBA states you have to go back. I believe it's 48 days from the week your first game before your first practice.
Yeah. Well, they'll practice today, but no media today, right? So this is the final day of practice at mandatory minicamp. Yesterday, though, quick thing to point out, Sal. I saw Andy Young tweeting about this, and I think Bills fans might want to know this. There's what you're allowed to shoot and what you're allowed to watch as a media member. So when you're giving an opinion about how somebody looks, granted, all we can see is Keon Coleman against air, but you're watching receivers against DBs, right? 7-on-7. You are seeing a lot more than is actually making it out of the facility. So, for your beat reporters and your people that are there at the facility, you are getting a more of a dose of football than maybe we might think based on the pictures.
Correct. And when you say what we can watch, so that changes. We can watch everything right now. Today is a little different. I can explain that in a minute. But at mandatory minicamp, at OTAs, we can watch the full practice. At training camp, we can watch the full practice. Once the regular season starts, we can only watch stretching and individual warm-ups with position groups because they're game planning and things like that, which makes sense. You guys know that. But that's correct. We only get every practice is divided into periods. So they say period 1 is stretching, period 2 is individual work, period 3 is this or that, special teams. And they basically say when we get out there, hey, media can only take pictures or shoot video during periods 3 and 5, let's say. And it's always early in the practice. So when you see Keon Coleman making a catch against air, that's during the period we're allowed to shoot. Once they go to 7-on-7, 11-on-11, we're done. We can't shoot video. I can tell you that C.J. Gardner-Johnson had back-to-back plays. I wrote about this at the website yesterday. He had back-to-back plays where one, he dropped an interception, and the next one he made a great play to break up a pass and a deep ball. I'm not really allowed to describe how that play unfolded because that's more strategic stuff, if that makes sense.
Right. But impressions, though, somebody looks good. The fact that, a receiver is beating defensive backs, or that C.J. Gardner-Johnson had back-to-back pass breakups. Like, you are getting a dose of all that stuff. So, okay.
Yes, I am. I am getting a dose of it, and we're seeing everything about it. So, yeah, we get to watch everything. We get to see everything, but only a very select things we can show on video or on, because it happens all the time, guys. I'll be like, oh, my God, what a great catch. Keon Coleman. By the way, I think he's been very strong in camp so far, and I know we've heard this before, right? He had a good year last year, but he's been very strong, I think. And if I say, man, he made a great catch over the middle in 11 on 11, people are like, well, where's the video? I'm like, well, we can't show the video. That's during the portion, we can't shoot. But today, I don't even know, guys, if they'll actually hold a practice. They may have a walkthrough. They may have just meetings. I mean, typically the third day of a mandatory minicamp, a lot of times teams don't do as much. They get the guys out so they can get on with their summer and their break. I mean, today's even earlier than normal. Like, we will talk to players today, but it'll be earlier in the afternoon than what it has been the last few days.
How are you balancing Coleman looking good in these times of the year versus what how valuable it actually is, I guess, to you?
I don't know if it's that valuable right now, Joe, because we've seen this before, right? And I think his rookie year, you saw a couple flashes, but it was okay. He's a rookie. And then last year, he had a really strong OTA and especially training camp. He's really good in training camp. And then everything happened that happened in the season. And he got benched / suspended, whatever you want to call it, for his tardiness, things like that. And now here we are again. And whenever I post something about Keon, the natural, look at the videos yesterday. Yesterday, I just happened to be standing there. He made a great catch in the back of the end zone. So you see that video, you see my video, and then underneath there are the comments of, I don't really care. Show me the regular season. And I totally get it. I get it. I'm there too. I can only tell you what I'm seeing, but any fan that says, well, it really doesn't matter, we heard this, and look what happened last year, I totally understand that. So I don't think it matters. I will say this, though. I made this point on Show with the Bulldog yesterday. I made a mental note yesterday watching practice. I just think, in my own mind, I don't know the analytics and numbers to say this. I'm not tracking this specifically. It feels to me like Josh Allen is throwing the ball to Keon Coleman more in these mandatory mini camps and OTAs than what I've seen him throw to him before.
Okay.
If you're saying you're noticing that, any takeaway from that, like build up confidence, try and make him feel right, like make him feel you're a part of this, you're getting the ball a lot, you're staying engaged, you're staying motivated, something like that.
Jeremy, I would not doubt that at all. I think that could very well be it. Like, hey, what did Joe Brady say when he took over as head coach? First thing he did was call Keon Coleman, one of the first things, and say, best thing that ever happened to you was me being your head coach. And I think part of that is that exactly what you're talking about. Build him up, confidence, show we have faith in you, we believe in you, we're going to use you, and stay engaged, be there on time, do everything you're supposed to do, and you're gonna smash. And now it's carried over maybe into, hey, and I don't know this, are they telling Josh Allen, hey, when we can, we're going to get Keon the ball and show him we're going to show through on this because we think that he will respond that way. Maybe that's the case, or maybe Keon Coleman's just getting open, and Josh Allen's finding him. And I did make that note in my mind yesterday that I believe it seems like he's been more involved in these team types of 7-on-7s, but especially 11-on-11 more than I've seen, in the past 2 years.
What has he said about what his spring and offseason was like? I mean, there's the maturity part of it. There also wasn't he working with Stevie Johnson in the offseason? Like, there were parts of his game I'm sure he was working hard at too, in addition to, I'm sure, just taking it more seriously. There was the Pagula press conference. Like, what has Coleman kind of sounded like to you?
Joe, the one thing about Keon, though, is he's never been not a hard worker, right? I mean, that's a double negative. He's always worked hard. Nobody I've ever talked to has said that Keon Coleman does not work hard when he's on the field. He is a hard worker. He actually takes his craft seriously. He works on his route running. He works on everything that goes into being a wide receiver at the NFL level. He works on. That has never been an issue with Keon Coleman. The issue has been, I think, taking the professional part of the job seriously enough to be professional enough to be where he's supposed to be, when he's supposed to be there, to fill in the cracks and make all those little things come together. So when he talked earlier this year, and we asked him a couple weeks ago about all those things, about the Pagula press conference, about, the name being brought up, all those kinds of things, Keon was very responsive and took it seriously and said he understands, like, I have to go find his exact wording, but he basically said, like, he knows that he has to have a better year this year. Like, it's on him. He's taken ownership of it. He did say that Joe Brady did tell him exactly, what he said about, best thing for you is me being your head coach, but he's the one that's got to go out and do it. That has never been an issue with Keon Coleman not taking the job seriously when he's on the field. I think it's been when he's off the field taking the job professionally enough.
Sal joining us, wrapping up Bill's mandatory minicamp. So they'll have a practice today, then they'll break. And, Sal, they're not talking about winning the offseason. What do you feel like the team continue just doing your thing? I mean, a lot of these guys have gained weight or lost weight. Are there more physical benchmarks, milestones to get to? What will these players do to make sure that they're ready to go in the next 6 weeks?
Everybody has their own routine, and what I've learned over the years, Jeremy, is that routine changes as you're in the league a little bit longer and you understand your body a little bit better, right? So, I've talked to guys over the years who said, maybe their first couple of years they got away and went away somewhere and worked out a certain time, and then maybe a couple of veterans said, hey, what you really should do is this or that, and get together with some other guys or come back to facility, or vice versa. It could be a lot of different things that go into it, but let's remember you got some guys still rehabbing here, and I need to, kind of mention a couple of the guys that we've kind of watched who've been injured here. Michael Hoyt, what does his rehab look like? It's been awesome to see him out in the field doing individual work. He's not in team drills, but he's going to keep that rehab up. Now, Cole Bishop, he told us yesterday he had something cleaned up in the knee, and that's why that he hasn't been out there for OTAs and minicamp. I said, how are you going to continue to rehab? He said he will be in Buffalo until his rehab's complete, basically. He's going to stay here. He's going to do all that rehab here with the trainers, everything he needs. He completely is expecting to be ready for training camp. He said that to him, there's no doubt he'll be ready for training camp. Yesterday, speaking of video, things we can shoot, things we can't, during that portion where we can, I saw Skylar Bell come out. He had not been working the last couple of days at OTAs. He was with a trainer. He got his leg wrapped, and then he went back into the training facility. I took a couple of pictures, and I think there's been, to be honest with you, a very large overreaction to this on social media. But I get it. Like, people don't like to see draft picks injured and whatever, but that's the kind of thing you think about, okay, what is he going to do over the next 6 weeks, 7 weeks to make sure he's ready? I don't think there's any doubt in anybody's mind that Skylar Bell's going to be ready for training camp. But what does his rehab look like? What does his summer look like? What happens there? Take a guy like Dawson Knox. Take a guy like Josh Allen, who are now fathers for the first time essentially during an off season, right? I think that just looks different for every player on how they structure their off season with their family, their workouts, their routine, all that stuff.
So, Capaccio, training camp opens, we believe, July 29th because of the calendar and all that. So, no full camp schedule yet. Anticipating potentially some changes about the way things are going to be run with the new head coach, but July 29th is the earliest.
And that's what, 48 days you tweeted, Sal?
Yeah, 48 days. I think they're going to be going a little bit earlier this year at training camp from the indications we're getting. So, it's not official yet. So, even though the practices in the regular season might be a little bit later, like we saw here, I would expect maybe training camp practices to be going on while you guys are on the air actually here, even more so than what it has been in the past.
Yeah. Those 48 days, I don't know how close they are to 90, if they're at 90. Is there a position or anything that you would think they'll add a body there because they're thin and haven't done a lot at any certain position? And their rookies are all signed, right, except for maybe one?
Well, that's a good question. Is Bowery signed? I think he was
Bowery
the last one.
is still unsigned, yeah.
Yeah. So they are at 91, Joe, because they're allowed 91 because they have an international player, Travis Clayton, that gives them the exemption. So they're at 91. They have by the way, yesterday, a tryout player made the play of the day. Devin Tompkins, who actually has played in the NFL with the Panthers, the Bucks, and the Falcons, a wide receiver. He got deep on a ball that Shane Buechele found him in. This kid, laid out. I mean, he was, parallel to the ground catching the pass, and everybody in the offensive sideline was one of those kinds of things. It was really cool to see, actually. But there's a spot right there, Joe. Let's say What does that look like with Skylar Bell? What does that look like with Joshua Palmer? Are you bringing in another wide receiver? And I'm not even talking about the Brandon Cooks and the Stephon Diggs of the world that the names are brought up. I mean, just somebody, where does Tyrell Shavers, what is his situation going into training camp? Is he going to be available at all by the time you get to camp? And then I think Dorian Williams at linebacker could be a spot. I think that question, Joe, is probably based on where guys are with their health and what they feel about their roster from a numbers standpoint with health.
Sal Capaccio on the Western Hotline. Thanks, Sal.
You got it, guys.
Mandatory minicamp practice today. Not open to the media last day, and then they break for training camp. At this time, we'll turn things over to Joe Kelly to our Shots of Audio, brought to you by Outlet Liquor. When you need to stock up, it's the best place to buy a case. News, opinions, reactions, play-by-play, whatever. It's the best audio of the week. Take it away, Mr. Joe Kelly.
All right.
What did he say earlier today that was like ridiculous? He said something. We said back off.
Qui-Gon Jinn.
It was
Qui-Gon Jinn.
Grown-ups.
Grown-ups.
Oh, but he didn't really say anything. He asked the question.
I do like that movie.
He asked
like, you guys didn't like Grown-Ups? Something like that,
it was
right?
because we were trying to reference Adam Sandler's 3 finest works that would have been identified on the celebrity list at the Madison Square Garden.
Yeah.
And he suggested Grown-Ups. And they just announced Grown-Ups 3
Yeah.
today?
Not today. It's been like a week now. But
Okay.
They did an interview
Big news
with
in
Kevin
the
James.
Grown-Ups community.
Yeah.
By the way, I think Devin Tompkins, did I see this yesterday? He caught the last regular season pass from Tom Brady of his career.
Wow.
A little fact about him.
Okay.
There we go.
All right.
Now he's with Shane Buechele. Okay. So, I'll start in the NBA final because it's been an absolute week for inside the NBA. Charles Barkley, Shaquille O'Neal. So there's about 30 seconds here. It's just some of the best of the week per se. And it starts out, Charles Barkley, he said some things about Cardi B. This is his response to it on the Dan Patrick Show, and then it goes from there.
I'm hoping they fire me. I got 6 or 7 years left on my contract that they know I got no chance of doing. I would love for them to fire me and have to pay me for the next 6 or 7 years.
You have to beat the system. That's my point. If you shut the hell up and listen,
When you start making some sense, talking about what should
make
be.
sense.
You don't make no damn sense. That was a dumbass play. We saw the dumbest basketball team in the history of civilization.
Oh, wow.
Just some of the best.
He's the best.
If he wants to get fired, this is not helping him.
No.
This is doing the complete opposite.
Yes.
Right. This is how to keep your job.
Yeah.
He's the greatest at that job of any sport.
Listen, when he and Shaq get after each other, it's incredible.
Oh, it is.
So good.
There's nothing like it.
Oh, when they're so mad at each other,
Yep.
it is awesome. They got mad at each other early in this series. They were yelling about whether the Wemby Brunson play was dirty.
Mm-hmm.
And Shaq's like, he pushed him. I want him doing that. He's getting hit all series. And and then they just start yelling at each other.
Yeah.
Usually they get, when it's really good? When they start getting to their own careers. When they start going back and forth about their own careers, that's when it's like
they start digging at each other.
My favorite moment still is when, however many years ago, maybe it's happened 10 times, but they were arguing and Barkley's like, you can't still dunk. And Shaq walked onto the court, picked up a basketball, and two-hand
and dunked it.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Could have ripped the rim down. He's like,
yeah,
don't come at me.
That's
It
awesome.
was amazing.
So
That's awesome. Yeah, they're fantastic. So
They really are.
it's been quite a series for them, especially them finally getting the look at the final on ESPN and all of that. So up next, though, we head to Philly. Philly's had a series with the Blue Jays this week. NBC Philly, the commentators there and the Phillies, just the commentators on the field, they started talking about this thing with tomatoes that was a little interesting. So here we go.
One other thing, I heard you talking about Jim Salisbury in the break. You wanted to know what he did today. Apparently, Jim said, and this I quote, he spanked his tomatoes.
We're going to roll out from Toronto.
Thank God, or we're all getting fired.
Does that mean something?
Yes, it's a technique that you can get more tomatoes. So you take a little stick and you hit them, and it spreads around the pollen. The little flowers pollinate each other, and you get more tomatoes. At the
Okay,
end.
yeah. You know what else you do this with is peppers.
Yes.
You pollinate. Yeah. You just put your fingers in there and help to.
Yeah. Apparently it's called spanking the tomatoes. Though.
Okay.
It's a little bit of your arborist situation.
Yes.
Tomatoes.
The arborist. Oh, what a moment.
All right.
Yeah, spanking the tomatoes. NBC
I might
Sports
have to
Philly
do
found
this.
that out.
I might have to do this today.
I know. I've got some in the backyard. I think they're starting to sprout up.
So hold on.
They're starting to come up. Just a plant.
Yeah, what you do, for everyone that wants to know, of course, is a light shake of the plant. Anywhere you see flowers. Yeah. I've done that with peppers before.
Huh. Let's go.
Good.
Spanking the tomatoes. Up next, Deion Dawkins.
That's my new fantasy football league name.
Yeah.
My team name. In the Dynasty League you guys want to start.
Yes. Spanking the tomatoes. I love it. Deion Dawkins, you alluded to his comments earlier about looking around in the new stadium. Before that, though, he had an interesting analogy as to what it looks like.
The new stadium is amazing, all right? And it's literally like a brand new Tesla truck in a desert. Like
Tesla truck in a desert.
A Tesla truck in a desert?
Yeah. That's what he says the stadium looks like.
Ooh. I think the Tesla truck would die in the desert because it's...
Probably.
Well, I guess any car would.
It might just light on fire because it gets too hot. Those things.
Solar panels, maybe? Are they going to do that?
Maybe.
It is funny that I think they did nail the built for Buffalo mentality that they were going for with that stadium.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't look like it's built for Buffalo, though. It looks like it was built for Mars.
Yes.
Or like space.
It definitely has the Arizona Stadium vibe where it looks like a ship has landed.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Mm-hmm. But all the amenities and like the design of it is the Buffalo part of it.
Yeah.
It's going to be awesome.
The Buffaloes themselves are also this. Wasn't this like the only complaint that a very select few had about them is they look like...
They were polygonal? That was the complaint? They look like the Cybertrucks, the Tesla trucks?
Yeah.
Somebody did say that.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
I think they're great.
I think they're awesome.
Yeah,
They're
with the line on the side. As they get built, I can't wait to see that.
Yeah.
But the final shot of this week, we had the honorable mention, the Knicks broadcasters getting hot mic'd. This is C.J. Gardner-Johnson, though, in a media scrum yesterday on Josh Allen.
CJ, did you know prior to coming here that Josh was voted the #1 trash talker in the league?
In front of me?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
I gotta do better. I gotta do better.
Have you noticed that?
No,
though?
I gotta do better.
Have you noticed it from him though? Does he ever give it?
No,
to you
I
a
just
little
gotta
bit?
do better. Forget that. I gotta do better.
Respect.
Yeah, respect. C.J. Gardner-Johnson.
Hold down your title, dude.
Yeah.
He's got to, right?
He is going to have a very good trash talk game, I think, that will get caught.
It'll be nice to have that on
mic.
offense and
Like,
defense.
Over under 2.5 times this year that a broadcast mic is going to pick up him saying something to an opponent.
Over.
Give me
We
the
won't hear
over
it.
all
We won't
day.
hear it in the mic'd up moments.
No.
Like
No, they'll bleep
segments
everything.
because
Edit all
those
that
won't
out.
make it. But like I'm talking hot mic on CBS.
Oh, yeah.
And we hear
one of those,
him
like,
screaming
antenna mics.
something. Isn't he the one? No, never mind. I'm confusing with a different safety. Peyton Manning used to hate a safety that he always would go after, but I don't think it was him.
Not Ed Reed? Who you loved and
No,
respected,
it was
but
like
they had battles.
Yeah, but no, this was a guy that was like dirty, and I think actually he might have been on the Bills recently. Didn't they bring in like an old safety last year, the year before? I'm gonna find this name. It's
Kwame Jackson, something like that. Former
Jackson's right. It's not Kwame.
Former Texan.
Ooh.
Kareem Jackson.
Kareem. Okay.
That was the guy. Peyton Manning hated that guy.
Oh, man.
Gardner
Do you
Johnson. Not the
have
same player.
Josh Allen on C.J. Gardner-Johnson where he says, like, about him, the kind of guy that he is so far?
I think so. Yeah, I have it right here.
I just want to go ahead and... All right.
Here we go.
Can I stir the pot a little bit?
Absolutely.
I'll stir the pot. I'm going to play this clip and just let's stir while it plays. Go ahead.
He's a competitor. He's the loudest guy in the room at all times. You know, he's a constant competitor. You know, nothing that he does is half speed. He does it full speed. And to have a guy like that in your locker room, pushing your guys and forcing them to compete even harder, those guys are gems, and I think every team needs that type of guy.
But enough about Stephon Diggs.
Yeah. 100%.
And he digs.
He's talking about C.J. Gardner-Johnson. Like I said, if I'm allowed to if I say I'm stirring the pot, then that is,
it's acceptable.
Just saying. Now they're back to needing guys like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's the cycle.
Vrabel did say they're not going to get Diggs back.
He did say that. Yeah, he did say that
yesterday say that. So he's not going to New England.
Okay.
Looking for a team.
And we don't think he's posted.
I haven't seen a post.
I have not either.
Yeah, I have not.
What?
I've got alerts
I guess I
on.
don't follow his. It's not his official account.
No,
it's another account.
He calls it. He calls it a fan account.
But it's
Yes,
him.
But it is him.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
Oh boy, what just happened?
I just got it's an obvious Photoshop, but it's very funny. Very funny. It's I don't know what this account is. This is Quigs, some fine Barstool Sports. It's a picture of, you mentioned Kirk Herbstreit was courtside.
Yeah.
And Jalen Brunson is about to inbound the ball, and somebody photoshopped Herbstreit's dog into the picture.
Oh, no.
So the question, they let him bring his dog everywhere? And it's really funny.
Okay, I'm looking at it
It's
now.
really, really funny.
That is pretty good.
Oh,
Was
It
his
looks
dog's-
pretty. This could trick someone easily.
Yeah. It's
How many people thought that this dog is actually at courtside?
enough people will think the dog is courtside.
Mhm. With how many places that dog goes with them.
Right.
Yeah.
Somebody's going to make an AI generated one of the dog going to grab the basketball
chase
and
the ball.
popping
See,
the ball.
this is where
in his
you know,
mouth.
like spotting AI. You got to be good at. Like, does it look too perfect? The dog looking up at Jalen Brunson the way he is how you know it's fake.
Listen, I'm old now, so I'm going to say this, and I'm going to just. Do you ever dabble in the sport you played a lot, which you haven't done in quite some time? Like, I don't know the last time I shot a basketball. I haven't played in rec leagues in, a long time. I shot baskets for like 10 minutes yesterday.
Yeah.
And I was like, I got to get back out there. I was raining, making it rain. The sound of the ball through the net was like oxytocin, like bam, bam, bam. My brain started feeling better. I was like, that's it. I'm back.
Just got to hoop.
I'm
Gotta
back.
go.
And of course, I'm not going to probably do that. Like,
Yeah.
I picture Owen, somebody throws something, he like knocks it away. He's like, ooh, that was it.
Catch a golf ball when you throw it to me on the
Exactly.
course.
You just catch something fast, like
Yeah.
your body
This is how-
sizzles. You're like, I'm back.
This
Stops
is how
a runaway
every
ball.
movie in the world starts.
Yeah, and the guy ends up with a broken leg.
Yeah, the guy that doesn't do the thing he used to, and then
We need you back.
he gets that.
I'm just saying. Just saying. I have guys on my street that they used to text me, hey, we're playing. No. And I said no enough times that they stopped asking.
You lost the
and
invite.
I thought to text them yesterday, like, you guys, you still playing?
Send the Jordan letter. I'm back.
I'm back. I'm
Send
back.
it- just send a picture of that.
803-0550. When we get back, we have a couple more Parade of Nations World Cup teams to go through. And let's talk about Mike Babcock and it's troubling. And I think it actually just got worse by the report about why Edmonton wants this to happen. I think it got worse, if possible. So we'll get to that on the other side. What if the defense is very bad, which led to a Twitter poll from Sneaky Joe.
And the results so far, how many wins would the Bills have if I told you that they were going to have the worst defense in football?
Jeremy White here
and
for Russell's Tree.
Most people are saying 9, and then 10, and then 8 or fewer, followed by 11 plus, which is only at 7% of the people. So 9 is the most popular answer right now, which probably is not the playoffs.
The worst defense in football, they'd win 9?
Yeah. You'd probably just miss if you were going to win 9 games.
Where's Howard when you need him? All right, Howard, they have the worst defense in football. Pick the Bills.
Pick the Bills.
Did they beat Houston?
Right. He's going to
in
start.
the opener?
We could have him pick more often if we give him a different qualifier every single time.
The worst defense in football.
I think they'd still make the playoffs.
I mean,
I think they'd still make the playoffs.
They would beat the Jets twice and the Dolphins twice.
Yes, they would.
That's
four. That's 4 wins. I know. Now their schedule is hard.
It is very hard.
So like that could make this a challenging year to be the year where you would have the worst defense in football. But you beat the Raiders still. I think they just. I don't know. Would the thing would be they would become a different type of team, wouldn't they? Like they've really leaned into running the ball more and they've slowed the game down, right? Like they have not become this high-paced team in the last couple of years. And if I told you they had the worst defense in football, honestly, my first question might be, well, how different does their offense look? Do they feel the need now to air it out and play to score 40 every single week and Allen throws for 5,000 yards? Or do they do the opposite? And do they say, our defense, this is kind of how I think people would think McDermott thought about it, is if I have the bad defense, I need to protect that bad defense. And how do I protect that bad defense? I'm going to run the ball and I'm going to slow the game down. So I'd like to know how they would react to it. Because I think I'd feel better if they leaned into, okay, yeah, our defense stinks. Let's go score 40 every single week.
It is funny how you can get to either answer.
You really could.
And
yeah.
the same is true if you have the best. If you have the best defense
Right.
ever, what should you do? Run it all the time and shorten games, or just go guns a-blazing?
And it feels like when McDermott and the Bills would enter into these games where their defense wasn't doing well,
they would want to keep it off the field.
They would get more conservative.
Yeah.
Whereas like a team like Cincinnati, when their defense stinks, they go the complete opposite direction. Like they're going to throw every single play.
The Parade of Nations ahead of today's World Cup, which gets started at 3 p.m., Mexico and South Africa. Spain, known as La Roja, the Red.
Nice.
A lot of players to like on Spain. Sweden, the Blue and Yellow.
The Blue and Yellow?
That's it.
Isn't Trey Knorr, right? Isn't that the Three Crowns? Or is that just the hockey team?
Oh, that's a good question.
Maybe it's just a hockey team.
Sweden.
Is Zlatan playing?
Zlatan Ibrahimovic?
Is he still playing?
I don't believe so. Switzerland is the only instance in the history of the World Cup of a team not conceding a goal. They kept 3 clean sheets in the group stage, but were knocked out in the round of 16 after losing a penalty shootout in a 0-0 draw. Switzerland, they're so neutral they don't even want goals scored. But Switzerland is known as the Red Crosses sometimes.
Yeah. Switzerland, the king. Nobody dislikes them. Right?
Tunisia, they are the Eagles of Carthage.
Sounds intense.
Yep. Turkey, who the U.S. will play in their third game.
Yep.
The Crescent Stars.
Yep. Makes sense.
They've played at the World Cup. They played at the World Cup twice. Came
only
third.
Twice.
Yeah.
Oh.
In 2002, they finished in third. And every other side to have finished in the top 3 at the World Cup has played. Yeah.
They finished third in 2002 World
Cup.
Cup.
It says came third in their second appearance. 2002 World Cup. Yep.
Wow. All right.
Uruguay, the Sky Blue.
Okay.
They hosted the first World Cup.
Yeah, look at Turkey finishing third in 2002. How did they pull that off?
There's the U.S. We usually call them the U.S. men's national team. Nothing really fancy.
Would we, if a dream run here happened, like Cinderella story, and the U.S. was in the third place game, would we care about it?
The third place game?
Yeah.
No.
We wouldn't care about it?
Right, because there is a third place game.
There's a third place game. If they made it somehow, would we care about it? Like they're playing Brazil to finish third.
Yeah, I don't know. And finally,
I think we might. I think we might care about the distinction of we finished third at the World Cup. That is the best we will ever do.
I don't think so.
No?
Uzbekistan, the White Wolves. Making
Cool.
its World Cup debut, the White Wolves of Uzbekistan.
Could you point them out on a map?
They are double landlocked. They're the first
What does
double.
that mean?
That means that every country that you border is also landlocked.
Oh, really? So they are really far from.
Maybe that's not what that means.
That makes sense.
No, that's right. Yeah, in terms of access to an ocean. Yeah, they're double landlocked.
Okay, yeah, right. There's the Caspian Sea, which is massive. That's not far away from them, but yeah, they are very far from any ocean of any kind.
Completely surrounded by landlocked nations.
Wow.
Must cross 2 international borders to reach a coastline. Oh, double landlocked. Which reminds me of my favorite map.
Your favorite map?
Yeah, there's a favorite funny map.
Okay.
About Croatia and Bosnia.
Oh, the coast, like the skinny coast that goes all the way down?
I'd like to go to the beach. No. Croatia has the whole coastline.
Right.
Anyway, all right. There you go. So the Oilers are going to hire, or they want to hire Mike Babcock, and the NHL's opening up a further investigation. The reporting out of Edmonton is that the driving force behind this hire is the leadership of the Oilers leadership group. And it has since been clarified that is the player leadership.
Yeah.
And Zach Hyman is one of the players specifically. He played for Babcock.
4.5 years.
He is leading the charge to make Mike Babcock their head coach. And it would have to have the blessing of McDavid and Draisaitl, of course, and who else? Like Bouchard. Basically the best players on the Oilers. The message that came back to GM Stan Bowman from the leadership meeting and talking about it about Mike Babcock said, we want to be pushed. And all of the stories about Babcock are he does not bully and mistreat the good players, the great players, but he is a bully and, in the words of Johan Franzen, the worst person alive. He is. There are so many stories that he's or maybe he's the worst person I've ever met, that he is a horrifically awful person, bully, and that the Oilers leadership group would know that and say, he won the Cup 18 years ago, we're ready to be pushed. I mean, that's right,
because that Marner story with Babcock was when he was a rookie.
A rookie, right.
And so he was a great player, but he was a rookie.
Right.
That's not going to be McDavid and Draisaitl.
Who knows? Babcock does not sound remorseful. I read another piece with a quote for him about, if you learn anything in the last 2 years, he said it just doesn't really add up. That if there are things I've done that I have to regret, I have to live with those, but it just doesn't add up. like he has his own side of the story.
That might make it tough for him to get another job. If you don't sound remorseful
Right.
and do the work, like I know, like comparing these is probably irresponsible, but like Quenneville getting another job after everything that happened with the sexual misconduct in Story in Chicago. Like Quenneville has been on the record about like making efforts and whatnot, like to take part in that community and try to do good, I guess. Like, I don't know that he should have got another job, but I'm sure that helped him get another job.
Well,
and if Babcock is over here like I did nothing wrong, that's probably gonna stop you from being employed again.
Yeah.
Because they're gonna do investigations, and when they talk to you, if they feel like you're gonna keep doing the same stuff because you don't think anything was wrong with it, well, that's how you're not gonna get another job. In a league where, by the way, they are going to look the other way on a million things. He still might not get another job.
He might not be remorseful, but how would you take it if you were a Oilers player and the general full picture is, like, listen, the best players on the team have decided that the coach that's going to make your life a living hell is the choice.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of tough. That's basically what he does.
Yeah.
Franzen, he's got stories. Mike Commodore's got stories. You got these fringe players, how he disrespected them, didn't treat them with any level of respect. Like, there's just, and the fact that this.
Yeah, Franzen said the exact quote was, "He's the worst. He's a terrible person. The worst I've ever met."
There you go. And there are going to be more stories that the NHL finds out about.
Right.
It's almost like I read one article out of Edmonton that said the NHL can just save the Oilers from themselves. Just like, listen, there's a lot here. You don't want to do this.
Yeah. Well.
So. Anyway.
Chelios told a story about Franzen and Babcock laying into him that he was suffering with a concussion and the depression thing. He just broke down at a nervous breakdown, not only on the bench, but after a game in one of the rooms in Nashville. It's probably one of the worst things I've ever seen. Talking about Babcock and his treatment of Franzen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He would lay into a couple of the other players, the nice team guys, the guys who don't say very much. It was verbal attacks. He said horrible things. That's Chelios talking about Babcock. Ah, man. What is that? I mean,
won a Stanley Cup with the Red Wings 18 years ago.
Do the Oilers players just not know what they're getting into?
No, I think they do, and they want it. I think that's the message. We want to be pushed.
That's got to say a lot about what you think about your teammates then, doesn't it?
I think so. Yeah.
You think your guys need that? What do you think of those guys? Hey, anything that helps McDavid get out of Edmonton.
Is there any other Cup winner that's unemployed that they could just go get? Like Barry Trotz?
That's still working. No, Trotz just didn't.
That's what I mean.
Trotz
like,
just retire.
That's
from
what I'm saying.
being
Like,
a GM?
could you find if the idea is somebody that won a cup? Is there anybody available that's not him?
I mean, Cassidy, they want, but they're not going to be allowed to talk.
But look at what's happening for Vegas. Vegas blocked Cassidy, and the Oilers are like, all right, how about Babcock?
I think Vegas. Doesn't it sound more and more like Vegas is specifically blocking him until Edmonton as a coach?
Yes,
I think maybe. Well, it's L.A. too. L.A.'s in the same boat.
Okay.
Or no, they have a. Did they hire
Laviolette?
They hired Laviolette. Right. I saw a theory that the second Edmonton hires a coach, they're going to give Cassidy permission. But the Babcock thing is so might not happen that they're not doing it yet.
I had seen Friedman say that there was sort of a vibe like Vegas might just not let him work next year, like all year.
Yeah.
Just like take a hike, dude. Because I know there's reporting about Toronto's very interested. They haven't asked permission yet, probably because they know they're just going to say no again. But I don't know. And I saw another report this morning that was like Edmonton's running out of options. If they can't get Cassidy and they can't get Babcock, they're going to call Daryl Sutter, who also got fired for kicking a guy on the bench. So, good luck.
How old is Daryl Sutter at this point?
I don't know. He might fall over on the bench, and that might be the end.
Is he 75 at least?
He's old.
He's kind of always looked like he's 75.
That's true.
Hasn't he?
He is 67. Yeah. I think that's the same age as Tortorella.
67?
He looks like he's 67.
He was 67 20 years ago.
Sutter?
Good Lord.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I guess Tortorella's not available.
Tortorella's the same age. Well, Tortorella's going to be done. Vegas.
He's not going to go next year?
He said something that was like, I've only agreed to be on this team until this playoff run's over. And that's the contract he signed. It was finished this year. I mean, if they win the cup, it's going to be like you're going to not hire him back, but they might not. They've got a coach there that I think they kind of like and might want to promote. But I mean, if you win the cup, it'd be crazy not to bring him back. But they might not. They're crazy enough to do that.
803-0550 to join us. It is Thursday, corporate challenge today, and 2 weeks till my 100 holes. You see the feed we've got there. Owen has the QR code. If you're watching on the smart TV, scan that. Throw me a donation if you could. I think tomorrow I'm going to do show and tell. I've got that Sabres team signed stick. Look at it. Try and get all the
names on it.
All the names. Josh Allen signed helmet. Sabres team signed stick. Max Harrison signed football. Foursomes of golf everywhere. A $25 donation to the fund, which is going to go to Live Like Luca and the Roswell Park Foundation as well, the Courage of Carly Fund. 2 weeks from now, playing 100 holes, and $25 gets you in all of the drawings. You can come to our Wayland party on Thursday of next week. You don't have to. I'll reach out and tell you if you won. But scan that code. Go to my Twitter page. The pinned tweet is either my Venmo or the actual Roswell Park link, and every donation, again, gets you a ticket into all those raffles. Thank you very much. It's my birthday when we play 100 holes. Today's
On
Joe's
your birthday.
Yeah, today's Joe's birthday. Happy birthday, Joe. Do it for Joe's birthday.
I got a list of my favorite number 31 athletes. In extended
Jason
sports.
Sehorn.
Not on my list.
No? You were number 31.
When did he stop playing?
Oh, a long time ago.
The only thing I even know about him, I had a buddy who had his jersey.
I had his jersey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He stopped playing in 2002?
Yep.
I don't remember him.
Got hurt on a kick return. Great. Really cool. Really great.
Was he returning?
Yeah.
Oh, he got hurt?
Yeah. Had a really good cornerback. Why don't we have him return kicks in the preseason? Knee. All right, that was fun.
Right.
Extendo Sports coming up.
Hey, Sneaky, it's your birthday.
Sneaky Joe DiBiase here.
M&Ms are 10 times better in the fridge or in the freezer. Do I trust space pictures? Is this a real camera? There is another.
Who are you, Yoda? Happy birthday to Joe, Sneaky Joe. I'm looking over your birthday buddies. Not that impressive.
Excuse me. What name is on the trophy you win the Super Bowl?
You've got Vince Lombardi. Jacques Cousteau.
That's
and
the
then
second name?
Yeah, that's what I got. I mean, it's not a great day.
I had another really good one.
Kai Havertz.
Hold on.
Kodak Black.
Hold on. You're missing somebody.
Maya Moore. Shia LaBeouf is not good. This is Jose Reyes. Diana Taurasi.
I know there's one
Jeff
more
Ogilvy. Joshua
it.
Jackson, a.k.a. Pacey from Peter Dinklage.
That's the one.
Okay.
Peter Dinklage.
It's getting a little better here.
Yeah.
Hugh Laurie, House. Joe Montana. All right.
Look at that. Joe Montana is like the 20th name that's been read.
You're still...
Joe Montana and Vince Lombardi. Come on.
Gene Wilder.
Who's one more than those two? Gene Wilder.
Yeah.
Great.
They're still doing okay, I think.
31. I once owned a Buffalo Bills 31 jersey. I still own it.
31.
I just haven't worn it in a long time.
Sammy Morris.
Jairus Byrd.
Did Sammy Morris wear 31?
I think so. Every Sabre throughout time, except you go back to like the 70s, that wore 31, all goalies.
Yeah.
And none of them have really been good until you go back to like maybe Steve Shields.
All right. We're back tomorrow. TJ Parker is going to join the show tomorrow. So,
nice.
8 o'clock. We look forward to that. Enjoy the World Cup. Day 1 today. U.S. plays tomorrow night.